Hello everyone, how are you doing on this Saturday? Ooh, my hair is kind of screwy today. I don't know if you guys have been watching the Surfs doing their amazing charity stream, but they've already raised $23,000. It's absolutely bananas how much they've raised so far. I was on it for a little bit. Maybe I'll go back on because I think they're streaming for something like 33 hours or something like that. Like, it's just going crazy. Yeah, somebody donated $10,000. Absolutely nuts. So, definitely check that out. Of course, when we're done here, we're going to raid them. It's just crazy how well they're doing, and it's such a good cause. So, if you get either tired of this stream, mid-stream, go check them out, or at the end of the stream, we're going to go raid them. So, someone donated $2,500 and mentioned me. I know, I did see that. Or I didn't see it, but I was told of it. I think it was the person who actually did the video we watched yesterday of Jeremy being drunk. So your day's going terrible. D&D was interrupted by a power outage. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Ping the Discord. What do you mean? I have no idea what you mean by that. Has anyone peed in their basement in that stream? Not gonna lie, there was some joking about it. I guess this also means that the serfs are gonna debate Jeremy or something. I think that was part of.
There's nothing funny about the tools of
Jade Skywalker 85. Thanks for gifting 5 subs. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Money is still on Jeremy backing out of the debate. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly. Like, that is kind of Jeremy's MO.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Oh, you're asking, like, did I put it in the Discord? I did, yes. When they got 5K, they met the bar they needed to. I know, and they still have, like, 30 hours left in their stream. It's just bananas. I have no idea how high it's gonna get, but good for them, honestly. It's so great. They're getting money for, like, a trans charity that's setting up a place for trans people to go if they're, like, kicked out of their homes or if they're homeless for some reason. It's really, really great. So their original goal was 5,000, and they're already at, you know, 23, which is, when I was setting up this stream, I think they were only at something like 20. So it's still going up at just like a ridiculous pace. It's going to be H-Bomb 2.0. That'd be great. I don't know if it'll be quite that successful because that was just like nuts, but still awesome of them. Very, very cool. And their guest list is just crazy. So definitely go check it out. I may be on again sometime in the next, 30 hours or however long they're doing this. I don't know. But even if I'm not, please check it out. They're watching, like, She-Ra, which is why the stream is, like, She-Ra themed. I think they got the rights to stream some of these old She-Ra episodes. So they're watching She-Ra, they're talking to people, they're going to be playing some games. I know they discussed doing Fall Guys later. But either way, they're just, like, the best. We had a lot of cool people on. Chelsea Manning was on earlier. Vadim was on, Creationist Cat, Jangles was on, tons of people. I mean, you just have to look at their Twitter to see the huge list of guests. Actually, let's take a look, shall we? Twitter, and we'll look for the serfs. The serfs. This is the list of their guests. Look at how many they have. It's, like, crazy. So definitely, please, go and check it out. And I believe they're doing a command. It's like, is it Dono? Is that what they're doing? Like, exclamation point charity, and I think Dono was another one. There were, like, 3 words you could use that would get it. Either way, watch the stream a little bit. Either when you decide to leave here, or of course we're gonna raid them afterwards, and throw the charity a couple bucks if you can. It's a really good cause, and they're just killing it right now. They're absolutely killing it. So
I know that, like, you're streaming and stuff, but the Best of the Bad TV, it did write, like, a really long thing. If you want to read it at some point, I just wanted to let you know.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Okay. I read the pinned post.
So this was directly in response to me.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you asked, is this the toxic video you were talking about? Of course, talking about the Jeremy video in which it was. We watched it yesterday. It was a compilation showing him being really, really drunk. There, Hizzy, thanks for the 100 bits. Been a fan a long time. I have some biddies. Thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you, Dude Spiky Dudes, for 2 bits. I want to save up and buy South Korean beauty products since I heard Korean beauty products are the best, but then I realized, what's the point when the mask covers half my face out in public?
So just background, the person that made the video of Jeremy, their channel is Best of the Bad TV, and they didn't realize that it was as toxic as it was when they put it out, basically. And so what happened is they apologized and donated to the charity that the serfs are currently raising for, Maine Transnet. They gave $2,500, they said, as repentance for making this the toxic video. And so I didn't see it as toxic. I saw it, I don't know, but basically they didn't realize the backlash that Jeremy was gonna get, I don't think. And so I've been like chatting with them, and they wrote me back a bunch saying what they thought about the response to the video.
Yeah, I don't know. I get it. I don't think it was like... I understand why it's easy to look at Jeremy and, like, see him in pain and go, whatever, why would you care? Because he doesn't care about other people. But still, I don't know. It was nice of them to donate to the charity, though, and it's nice that they recognized that the video was a little questionable in some of the editing choices, but...
Yeah, it might be because I wasn't looking, like, at the video, looking at any editing they did.
Yeah.
I just...
Hello, DM Trey with 5 bits, thank you, and Dr. Gamble with 2 bits. Hail Cobby, thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, Sushi Mom is on Twitter trying to gather a bunch of kind words to Jeremy, because he's obviously not doing well.
Yeah.
So if you want to go over on Sushi Mom's post and give him some
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
kind words, and know that, like, it's not hate that we're trying to throw his way or anything.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Everybody deals with depression or low points in their life.
Thank you to Obowan for 5 gift subs. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you.
Tools of capitalism.
I can't believe someone donated 10 grand.
I know. I wonder who the 10 grand person was. Was it anonymous?
No, it wasn't anonymous.
Okay.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
That's like awesome.
Yeah.
Must be a rich person.
Must be.
There's nothing
It
funny
was
about
probably
the
the
tools of
doc.
capitalism.
That would track in terms of how much, like, money Doc puts into various Twitch streams. Or at 23,800? Ayard.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting.
Who that is.
Yeah, no idea. Anyway, so that's what's going on with the serfs. Really great cause. Go check it out if you decide to click off this stream. They are awesome, and they're doing great work over there. Other than that, though, what we're here to talk about today is sovereign citizens. And we talk about sovereign citizens quite a bit on this show. But, and we'll probably check in with the serfs every once in a while during the stream just to see how their progress is going, because I find it incredibly interesting. But, there aren't only sovereign citizens here in the United States of America. Did you know that? In fact, quite the opposite. There are very many sovereign citizens all over the world. But in places like Canada and the UK and Australia, typically they don't get called sovereign citizens. They usually get called freemen of the land. So today we're going to be looking at, specifically, non-American sovereign citizens, or as they are called there, Freeman of the land. That's the theme of today's video. Hype Train, 84% of level 2 already. Wow, thank you. And Christian American, thanks for continuing your subscription and saying, we have a couple sovereign citizens that come to our church, and it really gets nutty watching them preach their message, yeah? Kirthan, hype! Indeed. Sushi Bomb 10 with 200 bits, some trans pride support bits. Awesome, thank you. We just completed level 2. Since we're doing this anyway, I don't know. We'll just hang out for a little bit while the hype train sort of does what it does, and yeah. Have you guys been checking out the surf stream? It's like really crazy how good they're doing. I really hope I get to go on another time later while they're watching She-Ra. I haven't actually really watched old She-Ra. I think that would be fun to kind of hang out with them and talk about it, but I introduced you to sovereign citizens, and now you're fascinated. Well, I'm glad. I'm fascinated, too. It's like a weird obsession for me. Weird, narcissistic, crazy people. I don't know why. Yeah, there's a link in the chat if you want to donate to the Surfs charity thing, which is a really great cause. So please, go do so. They're up to 23,845. Absolutely wild. Good for them. Skeletor. Is Skeletor in She-Ra? Because I know She-Ra's a spin-off of He-Man. But, like, it's a spin-off, so is Skeletor like a... I imagine he probably makes a cameo in a couple episodes, but there's got to be, like, different villains, right? I would think. Could be wrong. Skeletor shows up when it sometimes crosses over with He-Man. Sure, that makes sense. I'm wondering if they're going to do a He-Man show on Netflix, because they did the recent She-Ra remake, which is really good, by the way, if you haven't seen it. But I don't know. I haven't actually watched past the first couple episodes. It was really good of what I watched, but I gotta watch it at some point. So I guess I don't know if, like, Prince Adam shows up in the show, or if there's any hints at He-Man, or if He-Man straight up shows up in She-Ra. I have no idea. Do She-Man. I still say She-Ra is not 14 years old. I think she's actually 18 on the show. I could be wrong. I thought she was, like, started at 17, and then by the end of the show, she's 18. So we have 2 levels. Let me get 2 hats. There's a hat. There's a hat. 2 minutes left on the hype train. She turns 18, yeah. So she must be 17 when it starts. Still too young for Jeremy to be gawking over, though, considering he's almost 40. Or in his 40s. I have no idea how old Jeremy is for real. I'm pulled in 2 different directions, though, because his face says old, but the fact that he pees in his basement instead of just walking upstairs to use the bathroom says child. So it's kind of complicated. He's about 38 to 40. Sushi Bomb says 43. Where are you getting the 43 number? I believe that, but, like, are you just pulling a random number? Or do you find a source? Because I've tried to look for this, and I was never able to find it. I've never been able to find, like, for sure, Jeremy's age. You hope he gets help? Oh, I do, too. I don't know what's going on in Jeremy's life, like, at all. But no one deserves, like, to be in that much pain and not to, like, reach out for help from someone, whether it be, like, family or friends or a therapist, so. Your husband used to watch him, and he said that's what Jeremy said? Secondhand info? Okay, well, I'm not gonna assume that's the truth unless I actually get to see the video where he says that. Who's Jeremy? The Quartering. The Quartering's name is Jeremy in real life. 40 seconds left on the hype train. Apparently his relationship with his wife is in the pits, which doesn't shock me, honestly. I know the video we watched yesterday involved him and his wife, like, getting in a fight because she wanted to go get pizza, and she went without him. which is such a juvenile argument, but I think that's indicative of larger issues.
There's
So I don't
nothing
know.
funny about the tools of
Dr.
capitalism.
Gamble with 300 bits. I hope now expecting me to carry this hype train today. I assume it's supposed to be I hope no one or something like that. Running low on expendable funds as I got some root canals and crowns coming up. Dental work is too expensive and painful anyway. Here's some pride bits, and I hope the charity stream goes well. Hey, I don't expect you to do anything, Dr. Gamble. You've been generous enough. Thank you so much. Level 2 complete. Xandris with 50 bits. Here are the last of my bits. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So anyway, now that the hype train's over, let's get to the Freeman of the land, shall we? And right before, let me see what they're at. They're at 24,285.
Capitalism.
Just for reference for when we go and look later. And thank you, Furia Ferna, for gifting a sub. I appreciate that. And thank you for continuing your own subscription.
There's nothing funny
Yeet.
about the tools of capitalism.
Anyway, Freeman of the land. So this is, like I said, Freemen of the land are sovereign citizens in other countries, usually the
There's
UK
nothing
or
funny about
Canada
the
or
tools of
Australia.
capitalism.
Thank you, Daddy Sume, for the 10 bits. Says, I have arrived.
Back. You mind
Okay,
to take
can I
the key?
get your ID, please?
Of course you can. It's 608. That's
Great.
me. Alright? So you can have my documentation. That's
no
not
problem.
a bother. I'm going to
can-
be doing checks on this
Yep.
vehicle.
Absolutely. Can I just ask you under your oath of office today?
And what, sorry?
Under your oath of office, the
We're
oath that you
starting to
took
get a
over-
bit ridiculous now, aren't we?
Can
I've
you
explained
answer
to
the
you-
question, please?
I've explained to you
Ignorance
the
is equal to
reason-
fraud. Ignorance is
Give me
equal to
a
fraud.
second.
Ignorance is equal to fraud. Can you answer the question,
I know, we need a traveling emote so bad.
please?
Robbie,
Can you answer the question, please?
give me a second.
Ignorance is equal to fraud, you know.
Could we,
Ignorance is equal to fraud. That's a dangerous statement for a sovereign citizen to make.
or could we ask the Tango 3482, I think it was, to come and liaise with me at my location? I'm by the Warwick store, just off, the Nisa store, just off Warwick Road.
You'll work on the
Am I under
traveling
the oath
emote
of office
today.
today?
Thank you,
Your oath of
Baha.
office that
Yes.
you took as a... Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Great. And you understand that it says in the oath of office to uphold my basic human rights?
I am upholding your human rights.
Right.
Who's being nasty to you? Who's being untoward?
Well,
I've
the-
explained.
See, I like these sovereign citizen or freemen of the land videos more because the cops in these countries tend to be more reasonable and don't try and escalate every interaction and don't have such huge egos that the second they encounter any sort of friction in the interaction with a citizen, they don't immediately get butthurt about it and start escalating to the point that they need to smash someone's window. They're just like, who's doing anything? Just agree with, you know what I mean? This is the attitude I would like from the police. Yes, please.
The reason why I've stopped you.
Absolutely, but the problem is it doesn't violate my human rights.
Because DVLA have said that there's no longer a keeper on this vehicle and that insurance isn't held. I'm doing my
Altered Rin asks with 10 bits, would you be willing to do a transition Q&A stream or maybe part of a stream being open to questions about taking hormones? Sure. Someone asked me on, I'd do it. I don't know if I'd host it here just because I don't, as much as if someone has a question about, trans specific stuff, I'm more than happy to answer them, but I don't know. I just feel weird about being like, hi, come and talk to me. I know what I'm talking about, because I don't feel like I do. But if you had a couple, trans people on, maybe, if I were representative of trans women, or there were a couple trans women on a panel, and then maybe there were some trans men who could talk about their experiences, or non-binary people, whatever, and I was just part of it, that'd be great. But I always feel weird acting as though I can speak with authority for an entire group of people when I have a very narrow experience. So I would be open to discussing it with people, but I wouldn't want to be the only one there. Are we sure this is a cop? No one's been tased yet.
job as a police officer. I'm not being nasty to you. I'm not swearing at you.
Yeah.
All right. I've got to make sure that this vehicle is legitimate and roadworthy to drive, and that you, in fact, are legitimate and roadworthy to drive.
It is 100%
So,
legitimate.
being that reason, do you have any documentation on you to ascertain who you are, please?
I can't hand any of that over.
You
no,
can't
sorry.
hand any of it to me.
No, sorry.
Okay.
I don't answer questions.
You're leaving me with very few options here. Okay. At the moment, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be civil with you.
I mean, you can read these documents that I've got here. If you
I
like.
can read them. You're exactly right. And if you're good enough, I'll have a look through them. But at this moment in time, I'm trying to proceed with doing my job. And you not speaking to me, that's fine. I don't mind.
It's alright,
Okay?
yeah.
I'm sure it's nothing personal. I'm sure that
It's not personal at all.
I'm sure that we've not met before.
It's not
But in
personal
order
at all.
for me to do my job and process this paperwork, which I'm going to have to do with you, I'm going to have to ascertain who you are. And until you do that for me, then the options open to me may be leading to your arrest. Do you understand that?
No, I don't.
Right. If you're not going to tell me who you are, I've still got to do my job, and I've got to find out who you are. And I've got questions I want you to answer for me. So in order to do that,
Isn't it just wild seeing this compared to the sovereign citizen videos we see from the United States, where the cops in the US are constantly trying to, like, do a pissing match, and they're constantly like, I am the authority! And this guy's just like, hey, you know, I'm doing my job, let's just have a discussion like human beings. Isn't it just absolutely wild how awful American cops are compared to cops in other parts of the world?
I'll place you under arrest. Okay?
Yeah, that's your. Excuse me, that's my personal property.
Right. You're being absolutely ridiculous.
No, I'm afraid. Anything you've got to do, you'll have to do by force, I'm afraid. I'm not going to consent to anything.
Right. This is quite ridiculous. Okay? I don't know what the problem is.
The problem is that I'm practicing my human rights and travelling.
Well, that's absolutely fine.
Well, no, because I've been
Okay.
told for nothing.
The weird thing is, I don't know why people who are, like, in other countries, like these freemen of the land, I don't know why they reference traveling. Because the traveling thing, which is already a misconception in the first place, comes from an American legal dictionary, right? And a misreading of certain American legal codes. This guy isn't even in America, so it doesn't make sense for him to claim he's traveling, right? Unless there's entirely different documents for, like, the UK that someone's misinterpreting in the same way to say that traveling is a human right when it isn't. Like, what? I should rephrase that. You have the right to travel within the bounds of the country in which you live. You, however, do not have the right to operate a motor vehicle on public roads in order to travel. That's a privilege. MMO addicted with 100 bits. The fact our cops are just like, this is why I was at first a bit incredulous at the ACAB slogan. Then I researched and yeah, most of your American cops are bastards. True.
Nothing. Look, get your phone back up and record
I
us.
haven't, oh,
There
still
it
on
is.
record.
Right.
I haven't done anything to anyone.
Right. What
I haven't done any crimes to
What have I
anyone.
told you that I've stopped the vehicle for?
Yeah,
I've explained to you that it doesn't have a registered keeper.
Right.
I've explained to you that it doesn't have
Yeah, but
any
the
insurance.
thing is, Article
This isn't
17,
invalidating
can I just speak,
anybody's-
please?
No, this isn't validating your human
It
rights.
is, because Article 17 of the Human Rights Declaration is freedom of ownership. If I have freedom of ownership, why do I need to tell people what it is?
Because I've told
You have a right to own a vehicle, but if you put it on public roads, then the government also has the right to ask for your ID because they are allowed to require you to have an ID, a driver's permit, in order to operate your vehicle on public roads. You're allowed to own your car all you want. It can sit in your driveway, you can drive it on your own private property, and you have a right to own that provided you bought it legally. However, this is not an ownership issue. This is an issue of being allowed to drive on public roads. And the government of your country, whether it's America or somewhere in the UK, can require you to have a license to operate your property on public roads.
No, I don't need to ask permission. No, just because you told me doesn't mean that
Doesn't
it's
mean
correct.
it's true.
No,
So
it doesn't
you-
mean
so you
it doesn't mean it's correct.
So
you need
think,
to
you
acknowledge.
Think all the people, I'm just going to make this up and tell you a bit of a lie.
No,
Right.
but The problem is that there's a contradiction between human rights and legislation. This is the problem.
Johnny, can I get
And
back to
our
you?
human rights are being taken away by legislation.
That's hilarious to me, too, because I'm pretty sure the Universal Declaration of Human Rights is like a UN thing, but it's not, like, binding. I don't even think that's a UN binding, like, thing. So, not that nations already don't take binding legislation from the UN seriously, much less unbinding ones. Declaration of Human Rights. Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights is a milestone document in the history of human rights, drafted by representatives with different legal and cultural backgrounds from all regions of the world. The declaration was proclaimed by the United States General Assembly in Paris on December 10th, 1948. As a common standard of achievements for all people in all nations, it sets out for the first time fundamental human rights to be universal and protected, and it has been translated into over 500 languages. And hey, yes, cool document. I agree, but it is not a legally binding document. It's not like a constitution, right? It's just something the UN made to be like, hey, this is what we can all agree on are basically human rights, and every country should ideally uphold these things. But, like, Saudi Arabia is a member of the UN, and they, of course, don't follow it. Frick, they're on the Human Rights Committee, I think, at the UN. So, just want to point out, while it is a cool document, it is not something that you can say, like, you need to follow this, because it's not legally binding in any way.
This is the problem.
Okay. 8608, Toby.
See, I need to practice my free will as a free human being, and if I cooperate in any way, I relinquish my free will and give you joinder, which I'm not prepared to do. Joinder.
Give me
Joinder.
joinder.
Yeah, like an agreement that I'll
Complying with the cops has nothing to do with whether or not you are supposed to comply with the cops. You don't need to have a contract with the cop who's pulling you over in order for them to have authority over you. They have authority over you because they have been entreated with that power by virtue of their job that's been given to them by the state. I don't mean literally the state, I mean the government in general. It might be state if they're like a state trooper, but if they're like a county cop, the government whose jurisdiction you are in has given them the power to have authority over you. There's no contract necessary, it's just the law.
With the units close to Warwick Street, is there? This gentleman's proving awkward. Now, if the traffic officer's not too far away, that'd be great. This gentleman's proven quite unusual.
Quite unusual.
Okay, everything's getting recorded.
Yep, I'll just need to get
Traffic cops arrive.
Thank you.
Would you like to take many of these documents?
No, not yet. An unusual gentleman. Holden vehicle's coming back on DVLA with no license keeper at the moment, no insurance on it. Just been talking to a gentleman here. We're being recorded, which is part of the course. Gentleman's refusing to furnish me with any of his name details, anything like that.
I'm not refusing, I'm just upholding my rights.
Just asked him to step outside the vehicle, at which point he's proceeded to put a crash helmet on and said, I'm going to have to remove him by force. So at this moment in time, I'm not...
Wait, he put a helmet on? Honestly, sovereign citizens in America should start carrying around helmets in case they have interactions with the cops. Heck, everyone, what a good idea. Let's start a campaign. Everyone start wearing helmets. That way if the cops try and, like, brutalize you, your head will be safe.
I'm struggling
Well,
to
he's
proceed.
ignoring the fact that he reached in and took my keys,
Yeah,
which is
because I
theft,
was-
because it's
I
my
was
personal
concerned
property.
You were going to drive off.
Well,
It could have caused me an injury.
Whoa, hang on, whoa. At what point? Like, what evidence do you have to support
Why
that,
would you
please?
put a crash helmet on?
I put it on as soon as you took that.
No,
you
you
did that
put the
first.
crash helmet on.
That's pure lies. I'm sorry, that is
Well,
pure
it's
fraud.
recorded, so you
Pure
can play it
fraud.
out.
I
That's
can
fine.
do. I can do.
I'm struggling at the moment. If the gentleman's not going to comply, he's giving me no details with regard to who he is.
I'm being caused alarm and distress at this point, and absolutely nothing. It's mine.
No, who's it insured with, please?
I don't answer questions, sorry.
You don't answer questions?
Nope, it's my human right.
And do you have a full driving license?
It's my human right, I don't answer questions.
Well, we have...
That's not how that works. Even in the U.S., which you have your Fifth Amendment right to not self-incriminate, does not cover things like the cops asking you for your name, asking you for your license, registration, asking you for your insurance. These things are not self-incriminating, right? If you are asked these questions from the cops, you have to answer. You have to identify yourself during a traffic stop. You have to give them these documents, and if you don't, they're going to assume you don't have them, and it's illegal to drive on public roads without these things, and then they can arrest you. Ancom Gamer Girl, thank you for following. Welcome.
The right under the Road Traffic Act to stop any motor vehicle on the road and check their driver's insurance, license and MOT. That's a statute. Therefore, the colleague here has obviously stopped yourself because when he's done an initial check on your vehicle, it intimates that there may be no insurance details held on the vehicle.
And I have documents here that I've handed over.
I'm speaking to yourself.
And I have documents here that I've handed over.
Can we have a look at those? Please?
Absolutely.
Public service. Do these relate to the motor car? These just what do
Yep.
they relate to?
Yep. They relate to this conveyance. They relate to me. They relate to your oath of office. That's all printed there. The Bill of Rights, the Human Right Declaration.
What did he print this on? That paper looks like brown.
All in there. It's all
Maybe
all
just
the
the
contradictions
lighting.
are in there.
So would you have the logbook for the vehicle in here, the certificate of insurance, the MOT,
There's a copy.
your driving license?
There's a copy of a logbook in there.
Which envelope's that in, please?
It's been that long since I put it together. I can tell you. You'll just have to
Right, we'll just
look through them
out
all.
of contact,
Absolutely.
alright?
By all means.
Okay.
By all means.
Cheers.
Give me a read.
I've already explained to you the
You ask what the emergency is.
I've already explained to you the reason why.
No, the emergency.
These people also do like, what's the emergency? Because they think that in order for the cops to interrupt you in any way, there has to be some sort of emergency, which is not the case. They can stop you for a traffic stop. They have the power to do that. There doesn't literally need to be like a stabbing happening. British Bob, thanks for following. In order for the cops to stop you. It's not the case.
It's just because you're only supposed to use your blue lights when there's an emergency.
Don't be ridiculous.
They use those to pull people over too. That's like the law. The cops both use those for emergencies and to pull you over, to signal you to pull over. And once you are pulled over, if you're next to traffic, they usually keep them on to keep you and them visible. It's a safety thing.
It doesn't really answer the question, though, does it?
I'm not going to answer your question. It's a ridiculous
Oh,
question.
ignorance equal to fraud. You're a public servant.
Did he say Bill of Rights? He was talking about the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which was drafted by the UN, which is a cool document, I agree, but it is not legally binding. No country is legally bound by the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in the same way that, let's say, the US law is bound to follow the Constitution of the US, or the UK law is bound to follow their own, whatever their big foundational document is. The only legal document I know about from the UK is the Magna Carta, and I'd imagine they have more recent things than that. But
I'm a member of the public.
Don't be silly.
It's a public inquiry.
Don't be silly.
Public inquiry.
we're just doing sovereign citizens today, not Karens.
No, it's the contradictions, you see. Plenty of them. Plenty of them.
I'm sorry?
Can you remember your oath of office at all? Any of it?
I'm getting very old now. I barely remember what I did this morning.
That's not very good for a police officer, is it?
We're playing silly at the moment.
We're not in the slightest, because Constitution,
if
everything's built on it. Freedoms, our rights are built on this.
Right.
You're supposed to operate your law and not violate the constitutional rights.
Just talk away.
Well, the thing is, your oath of office says that you'll uphold my human rights. You don't even know what my human rights are, so how can you uphold them?
I'd imagine that the UK has its own version of the Bill of Rights, where they have sort of a document that outlines what rights their citizens have. I don't know what that document would be, but it's certainly not the UN Declaration of Human Rights, which is what he's been referencing.
Do you know what Article 10 of the Human Rights Declaration is?
Talk to yourself.
Do you know what it is?
Not off the top of my head, I don't
Are you interested? Because it's in your oath of office.
I am interested.
The oath of office for people in the UK has nothing to do with the UN Declaration of Human Rights.
However,
just because the oath of office for a police officer in the UK might be something like uphold human rights, it doesn't mean the human rights they're saying literally means the UN Declaration of Human Rights. They're probably referencing whatever UK law recognizes as universal human rights, which is a different thing than the UN's version, right?
At this moment in time, I'm dealing with yourself. I'm being perfectly
Yeah.
polite, perfectly nice to
Do you know
you.
what Article 6 of the Human Rights Declaration is?
Perfectly fine.
Article 6 of the Human Rights
perfectly
Declaration.
Nice to you.
No, absolutely. I'm just going to educate you and enlighten you a bit.
Job.
Well, you're clearly not, because it's against your oath of office and against my human rights, to which you said you would uphold.
Okay, that's fine.
So there's more lies there.
I'll refresh myself when I go back.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Well, check
A
out
Geek
Article
with a Guitar
30
99,
Human Rights
thanks for
Declaration.
gifting
Freedom
us
of
up.
movement.
Recommendation.
Freedom of movement. If you have freedom to do something, why do you need to pay to do it? Why do you need to? If you have freedom to do something, why do you need to pay to do it? Why do you need to tell people you need to do it? Why?
Because you're operating on public roadways. That's literally the long and short of it. If you want to walk from one end of the UK to the other, more power to you. But if you want to travel on public roadways in your automobile, then you need to have a driver's license and whatever else the UK government has decided you need to have in order to travel on public roads. I'd imagine, based on what the cop said, it's very similar to the US, where you need, like, a registration of some sort, you need an up-to-date license plate, you need some kind of auto insurance. These are all things the government has the right to ask you for and to make sure that you have it before you operate on their roadways, because they own the public roads. That's what makes them public. The government built them with taxpayer money and they own them.
Why do you need to ask for permission? It doesn't work.
Like, if I own, for instance, a driveway somewhere, let's say I own a little racetrack even. It's just on private property, and I say, you can only operate on my racetrack if you're a brunette. If you have red hair, if you have blonde hair, if you have black hair, get out. You aren't allowed to drive on this roadway. That's completely legal, because that's a roadway I own. I'm not impeding your travel. You're on my property. Therefore, I get to dictate what you get to do on my property. When you are operating on the roads publicly, you are operating on public roadways owned by the government. Now, these roads have been paid for by yourself and others through taxes, but black hair is still considered brunette? Okay, fine. Black hair people can be on my racetrack. My point still stands. The government owns the roads. They pay for those roads with your taxes. So we all get to use them, provided we follow the rules set out by the government who owns said roads. It's very simple.
Decent person.
No, it's nothing to do with being a decent person. It's to do with what your freedoms are and what's required of you to do.
And I'm explaining.
And we were promised these freedoms, and at the minute, well, not at the minute. I mean, am I being detained or am I free to go?
I'm investigating.
Can you answer the question, please? Ignorance is equal to fraud, and this will come to court. So,
that's fine.
Yep. So, am I being detained or am I free to go?
You're being detained for the time being.
Yep.
For me to investigate.
So, I'm being kidnapped, basically.
No, for me to investigate.
I'm being restricted of all my rights
any
at the
potential
moment.
offences. And if there are offences disclosed, then we'll have to.
So you don't even have any offences to go off. That's the problem.
I don't know, do I? If you told me your name, told me who
I don't have to. That's all my personal details.
Told me your name, told me your insurance company.
Okay.
Then
can I get your full name?
Not my full name.
There we go.
My name's PC Allen.
Where do you live?
I'm based at Biker Police Station.
No, where do you live? See, it's your personal property. I have no right to take.
You're not a cop investigating him. You're a crazy person pointing a camera at him during a traffic stop. You do not have the same authority that the cop has in this situation. It's very easy to understand.
Your personal information.
I'm not going to go around in circles with you. Because
it's not circles, it's straightforward.
We have two opposing views on the world.
It's not a view, it's a fact.
We do.
You either have the right or you don't.
Okay.
Give me those back. There you go.
Okay.
Appreciate we have the logbook here. Is this? It's got from. Is that Jemiah Comi? I don't know how you pronounce that. Is that a Comi?
I can't answer the questions.
But I'll tell you, we have an impasse here, sir.
Right.
What I have is when my colleague and I've just checked your vehicle, it comes back as no insurance details held and it has no MOT. And the driver, your good self, is refusing to provide any details to confirm that you have a driving license to drive the vehicle or to assist us whether you have insurance and current MOT certificates. Do you understand that so far?
Did you check any of this? I don't understand because I don't give any joinder. Okay, did you check any of these statements?
That's printed off Bill of Rights, etc. Under the Road Traffic Act, as I've explained before, we are allowed to stop vehicles, and if you bear with us and confirm.
Only under the Road Traffic Act.
Sorry?
Only under the Road Traffic Act, yeah. Which violates Article 17 of the Human Rights Declaration, which my right of.
The Human Rights Declaration is not a binding declaration. It's non-binding. Why do these people think that the UN, which no one takes seriously, wrote a human rights declaration and all of a sudden every country in the world is bound to do it? First of all, who's going to enforce the binding nature of that, even if it were binding? Secondly, Saudi Arabia's in the UN. If it were binding, wouldn't you think the UN would have a lot of problems with Saudi Arabia instead of putting them on their Human Rights Council?
Freedom of movement. Sorry, Article 13. My apologies. Well, freedom of movement.
Whatever. So
well, if I've got freedom, then what are you stopping us for? I haven't hurt anyone, have I?
We have the right.
Have I hurt anyone?
Have
I hurt anyone, please?
I'm not going to answer your question, get into an argument over legal bits, but we have the right to
according to who?
And check.
According to who do you have the right?
Under the Road Traffic Act, sir.
So that's only a DVLA telling you that. It's not me telling you that. I never gave you that right. The DVLA gave you that right.
Correct. You don't have to agree to every law. If people had to agree to every law that gets signed, why would anyone agree to any law? Just in case. If you had to consent for the law to apply to you, there wouldn't be a single person in prison in the entire world. That's not how it works.
I think you find the company give us that right, sir.
Not at all.
The ability to be able to check your driving license and your
well,
insurance.
Police by consent.
Do you understand that, sir?
No, I don't.
Well, you should do if you're prepared. If you're driving a car on the road, I'll give you that back. That's the logbook for the car, and I'll check that out. Just give you that back.
Okay.
There you go.
So you can see the numerous questions I've asked, and the answers I'm not getting. I swear an oath to the people,
the
and then
Discord
ignore the
invite
people's
didn't
requests
work.
when they want them. falsely detain them, take away all their human rights.
Like that one?
And
Does this link
steal
work
off 'em.
for you? In the chat?
I think my mistake is having a window just touched too far open. Apart from that, I think I've done everything correctly so far.
Weird. Okay. I'll try and get a new link. Here, try this one.
Okay.
Parking in front of him so he can't run away.
What am I to call you in the meantime, Mr. X?
Whatever you want.
Feels impolite not to call you something.
That's just personal
Nothing
preference,
funny
isn't it,
about
though?
the tools of capitalism.
Christian American with 100 bits. It's very confusing how many of them somehow believe that a
Yeah,
nation's
well,
laws
well,
are
differently,
intended
don't
to
we?
violate
This is
human
true.
rights. Yeah, it's very strange.
I mean, I was brought up to think that
Is that a permanent invite code? I have no idea. I literally just went to Discord and I hit the, invite people button.
financing certain
get a
departments that they can finance banks to finance illegal wars, to drop bombs on babies and women and children, and then take away the rights of perfectly free, innocent people was wrong. But hey,
Are you seriously trying to equivocate, the West's intervention in other countries and the killing of tons of innocent people in places like the Middle East, and you're equivocating that to you having to stop for a traffic stop and give people your name and license? Grow up.
what do I know?
My friend, you're talking about the bigger argument that's between me and you, which is on Warwick Street in Heaton.
It all relates, though, doesn't
It's a
it?
political.
It all
it's
relates.
A big political agenda that. Which
It all-
I think is far bigger than me.
It all relates, though, doesn't it? We're all part of it. We're all part of the human race. It's all,
Either
we
wittingly
need to take responsibility for ourselves
Either
and how we
wit-
treat each other.
Either wittingly or unwittingly.
So
we're all
I haven't done
part.
anything to anyone, so I don't understand what the problem is.
And I haven't said that you have.
So I'm being detained for no reason then.
I'll explain to you in 2 seconds. I've already explained to you the initial reason as to
And I've explained why that's cock and bollocks. So,
Okay.
oops, my apologies.
No, that's fine. We're both grown men. I can take a bit of swearing.
That's also Article 19 of the Human Rights Declaration, which is freedom of speech. So to say that I can't swear is like restricted.
Hold on, I'm getting a link that never expires. There, that link will never expire, and it has no limit. Let me see if I can fix this real quick. Do commands. Discord. Let me edit this so it goes to this link. There we go. Now the command should work again. And for all time.
Than what I can say, which is actually restricting my freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech and a freedom to have an opinion.
Oh, absolutely. Opinions are like bumholes, though, aren't they?
What, sorry?
Opinions are like bumholes, though, aren't they?
Everyone's
got one. They all stink.
What was that film of? Clint Eastwood.
Oh, is that off a film? Oh, I thought it
There's
was just
Clint
general
Eastwood,
saying.
Dirty Harry. Just 2 seconds. Keep on
Absolutely,
talking.
by all means.
Yeah, now a police van showed up. Are they gonna arrest him?
I've explained to you.
That's it.
Right, my friend. I've explained to you at the start why I stopped your vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you understand the reason why?
No, I don't.
Right. I've stopped your vehicle because, as I say, I did a check on it on the computer, and it's come back that the DVLA says that there's no keeper and that there's no insurance in force.
Right.
Now, for me to be able to proceed with negating or confirming what the DVLA says, I need to find out your identity and I need to ask some basic questions of your person.
But that would violate my human rights. So
No, it wouldn't.
I can't be forced to give it.
Please, I can't just let you go because I don't know anything about you. You could be anybody.
Yeah.
Notice how from the beginning of this video to the end of this video, the cops are still cordial and reasonable and trying to talk to him like an adult on an equal footing with them, even though he's not. And here's the thing that I think a lot of people who, like, lick cop boot, who, like, watch these videos and they're like, oh, well, of course the cop got mad. Yeah, you know, of course they smashed the window and screamed at him and accosted him. He was being such an idiot. Like, it doesn't matter. You're a cop. The point is you're supposed to be above this. If we wanted random hothead douchebags to just beat people up because they're idiots, then we wouldn't have a police force. We'd just have mob justice. The entire point of a police force is to have reasonable, level-headed people who are going to deal with the public in a reasonable way, even when the public is being unreasonable. Especially when the public is being unreasonable, because that's the entire point. Look at this, and then look at American cops, and try and tell me there isn't a huge problem with American policing.
But if you
So could you, so why should I give you my details?
If God forbid, if you were to knock somebody over and there was an injury, and then we'd all feel very bad about that, and I'm not prepared to let that happen. If you're unable to furnish me with your details, you leave me with little option but to arrest you. I'd rather not do that.
You have to do everything you have to do.
I'd rather speak to you, civil and politely, and be able to resolve this. But if you're not going to help me, then I'm struggling to kind of complete this task.
How am I obstructing in any way?
Well, because without furnishing your details to me, then I can't proceed.
Daddy Sume with 10 bits, and in
Why do
response
you need
they
to
would say,
proceed?
that's a weak
Well, because
socialist
I've already
cop.
explained to you to answer
But
that.
where's the harm, loss, fraud? Who have I hit?
Right.
Can you answer the question, please?
This
Who
is
have I
going
hit?
round in circles, my friend, okay?
Can't answer the question. Ignorance is equal to fraud.
I've explained to you as politely as I can do, and in my limited means.
Absolutely. 100%. I appreciate that, mate.
I've tried to explain to you that we appear not to be getting anywhere, okay? So I'll tell you now that you're under arrest for suspicion of road traffic offences. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention, when questioned, something which you later rely on in court. And anything that you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand that caution?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's fine. I believe that you do understand the caution, and it's all recorded as well. My colleague in the traffic car is
Absolutely,
also recording it,
Goes
which
both
is
ways.
fine, because
both
that
ways.
makes sure that you're covered and that myself and all my colleagues are covered.
Absolutely.
I'd like you to alight from your vehicle, please, and follow me to the other police vehicle. I'd rather do it peacefully and civil and not make a scene for anybody involved. You understand, this is a residential area. There are lots of people coming about their business. You seem like a nice gent.
Well, nothing happened until you came, so that's
Well,
the aggravation's coming from there.
right.
So if anything happened to a member of the suspecting public, it's you. That's
I'm
you know, I
asking
haven't
you
done
as
anything.
polite-
I haven't
I'm
done
asking
anything
you
to
as
anyone.
politely as I can. Okay,
That's-
I really am. And I'd ask you one last time, please come across to the police vehicle in a civilised and orderly fashion.
And what happens if I say no?
I will have to remove you from this vehicle,
Right.
which I don't want to
So
do.
so that's under the promise of doing harm to my property or me.
Yes, that's how it works. If you refuse to cooperate, they're going to have to physically remove you from the vehicle. That is how it works. Welcome to reality.
Yeah.
No, I don't want
Well,
to do it.
how are you going to remove me from the vehicle without doing harm to it?
I'm asking you to come
Okay.
peacefully.
No, can you just ask me a question? Right. Answer me a question. Sorry. Right. If I don't cooperate, how are you going to remove me from the vehicle?
Take off your seatbelt, open the door, and then pull you out.
How
of
are you
the
going to? The door's locked. So how are you going to open it?
I've got a key.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
hold it closed.
Oh, come.
Do UK cops have like a master key to every car? That'd be amazing.
Come on, this is ridiculous.
I can't
The longer-
I can't
the longer
cooperate
that-
with you.
Look, the longer
He just said he had a key. Why don't American cops have that? It would save so many, like, windows.
that we all stay
I
here.
can't give you any joinder because then
He took the key out of the ignition.
There's
Why did he
nothing
hand him
funny
his
about the
keys
tools
then?
of
That's
capitalism.
shocking that the sovereign citizen handed his keys to the cop. Daddy Sume says he took it earlier. Okay.
I'll just agree to your terms and conditions.
Why are you not wanting to cooperate?
Because I haven't done anything wrong, so there's nothing to cooperate with. It's against my human rights. I'm a free human being, which means I have free will.
Funny about the tools of capitalism.
Random invite says, is the master key a baton?
I'd rather not make this any more difficult than it needs to
I'm
be.
I'm not violent, so
No, okay.
I'm not going to
saying
threaten
that
you in any way.
I'm not saying that you are violent, okay?
But what I'm saying is,
but-
I'm dead weight at the minute, so
Right,
you have to remove me.
Right, listen. I've never met you
What a
before.
power
I've got
move.
no idea who you are, okay? For all I know, you might be Bruce Lee. I've got no, listen, please.
Okay.
I don't want to get hurt. I don't want my
neither
colleagues to
do I.
get hurt.
Neither do I.
And you don't want to get hurt. So for those reasons, I'm asking you to be as nice as you can and to cooperate
I'm
with
being
me.
as nice as I can,
Okay?
but I can't cooperate.
Right, okay, that's absolutely fine.
got
Would
a
you
face
mind?
name?
Would you mind removing your seatbelt?
I don't give any details, I'm sorry.
Right, excuse me. I'm going to lean across and undo that seatbelt. Please,
By all means.
please do not lean forward, bite, or try and spit
By
at
all
me.
means, by all means.
All right?
Can you imagine for a second a U.S. cop doing this and not just, like, grabbing the guy and throwing him to the ground? God damn. Show this to every police officer in the United States and shame them for how awful they are.
Thank you. Right.
And then, like, lean on his neck with their knee for 9 minutes.
One over the top. Right,
The
but
thing is, it's going to be a really long process when if you
Because I don't-
operated now in the vehicle.
because I don't know you, and for my safety and your safety and everybody else's safety, I'm going to place handcuffs on you. Do you understand?
No, I don't. That's up to
Okay.
him.
On the other hand, please, you can still hold on to your mobile telephone. That's fine with me. Right? There's enough space in there for you?
No,
There is enough space. Right?
I'm a free human being. There's never enough space.
Okay. Right. I can see there, for the purpose of your mobile telephone, that there's easily enough space for me to place fingers in between both gaps. I'm going to double lock them so that the tightness is not increased in any way. Do you understand?
No, I don't.
Okay, not a problem. Would you please assist me in moving your legs out the vehicle and coming across to sit in the cage?
I'm sorry, I can't.
Okay. I don't like having to touch another man or have to deal with you in this way. Thank you. Mind watching your head as you're getting in? Actually, I'll give you a quick pat down. Have you got anything on your person that you shouldn't
I
have?
can't answer.
Okay, no problems. I'm going to give you a quick search. I'll put my gloves on because I don't know you and I don't know if you've got anything on you.
Yeah,
Alright?
there it is.
Is there anything in that vehicle that might cause any of my colleagues any harm?
I can't answer the question.
Okay.
Violation of privacy. Personal property.
It's about our human rights as well. We've got a right to be safe
Well,
whilst we're conducting our
there
job.
was no danger to you, so.
Well, I don't know that, do I?
Well, not like before you pulled us over. You could have got on with your merry way.
No.
All this is caused by you, mate.
Okay, that's fine.
Nothing's happened until you come along.
That's absolutely fine by me. Just headphones. Take them off you. As I say, I don't know you. You'll get them back when you get to the police station.
More theft, okay.
It's what, sorry?
More theft.
More theft. More theft.
My keys, my headphones.
Yeah. Thank you.
Personal property promised to me by the
You won't make
state.
any phone calls when you're in the vehicle.
Whoa, hang on. I need this.
So ridiculous. Like, the night and day difference between how American cops handle these situations and non-American cops is just wild, and just highlights what a deep-seated issue we have in this country with
There's nothing funny
policing.
about the
It's
tools of
so
capitalism.
bad that we just it's normalized to us. We expect a cop in the US to, like, brutalize people and scream at them and yell and be like, "I'm the man here! Get out of the car!" When they don't have to do that, and it's not even effective. It's not like it's bad and it seems bad, but it's necessary. No, it's not. Not only are you being an asshole, you're being less effective. Learn to be an adult and learn to be an actual policeman instead of a bully with a gun. My God. Quick summary of what happened. We're doing non-American sovereign citizens today. So what else How about this one?
Live streamed, yeah. Right, this is the first time I've done a live stream. We've got these coppers here, lot in an unmarked vehicle, trying to say I've got no tax, which I haven't. But they're trying to say I need this, that and other. Excuse me, Constable, have you got a minute? No, I'll stay in my private conveyance system, mate. Thanks. Am I breaking any laws today?
Committing offences, yes.
No. I asked you if I'm breaking any laws, sir.
You're committing offences.
No.
It's not a criminal offence.
Am I breaking any laws of this country today,
still
sir?
an offence.
Under what law?
Sorry?
Under what law?
An excise act.
Act. Yeah. So you're trying to impose statutes and acts on a living man. I've already told you.
Statutes are laws. Have you heard the term statutory law? It's because it's a kind of law. There are kinds of laws other than criminal law. You can do civil offenses, which I think is what traffic tickets often are in the United States. I don't know about the UK. But there's different kinds of law. Just because something you're doing isn't criminal by nature does not mean the cops don't have the right to pull you over and give you a ticket. That's why you're getting a ticket instead of going to jail, because it's a civil offense. Usually.
I'm under common law.
Your tax is well out of date.
It doesn't matter whether my tax is well out. No, it doesn't, sir. No, it doesn't, sir. I do not consent to statutory acts because they're laws of the sea. Do you not know the law, sir?
Laws of the sea. Wow. Look around us on this dry highway. Weird that the laws of the sea seem to apply here. They're not laws of the sea. They're just normal laws.
I don't know this law of the sea you're on about.
Oh, so you
the
don't
surfs are almost to 25,000. I looked at it briefly. They're at $24,635, and they're playing Fall Guys. So definitely, if you need a break from this stream, go check them out, and we'll of course raid them at the end. But they're doing just a crazy awesome job.
Statutes and acts? No, mate, no. No, mate, no. I'm in my private conveyance. If you try to get in here, I'll have you done for misconduct of a public office. Do you understand, sir? Act, sir. It's an act, sir. You've got no power. No. It gives it... No. Statutes.
This is what I don't get. If they thought that, like, acts... I don't know if that's specifically what they call laws that are statutory in the UK. I have no idea. I barely know anything about American law, much less international law. But what would the point be of passing statutes if they did nothing? Like, do you think the legislature's just jerking each other off when they do this? Why would they pass statutes and laws that are statutes if it did nothing? What would the purpose be? It would just be a big waste of everyone's time. Of course statutes are laws. Of course they are.
Statutes, please listen to me, sir. Please listen to me, sir. No. Statutes and acts, sir, are laws of the sea, and if you're trying to impose them onto me today...
Were sovereign citizen chuds an import from America to the UK or vice versa? The sovereign citizen movement, I believe, started in the 70s in the United States. There may have been, like, other Freeman movements elsewhere, but a lot of the stuff that they get today comes from a specific sect in America from the 70s that had relationships with white nationalism. Gee, what a shock, eh? And then sort of that gets exported outward. So I don't think, like, the idea of, like, your laws don't apply to me, I'm a Freeman, I don't think that didn't predate the 70s organization in the U.S. whose name I'm forgetting right now. But a lot of the modern conceptualization of, like, Freeman movements in Canada and the UK borrow a ton of their, like, jargon and belief systems from the United States sovereign citizen movement.
Their duty.
Under what law, sir? Under what law?
Sorry?
Under what law?
I've just told you.
Statutes and acts are not...
The movement... Oh, thank you, Verkanon. Verkanon says, the movement can be traced back to the white extremist groups like Posse Comet... Oh, God. Comitatus? Posse Comitatus and the Constitutional Militia Movement. It also includes members of certain self-declared Moorish sects, which we talked about Moorish citizens last week. The Federal Bureau of Investigation classifies some sovereign citizens as domestic terrorists. Yeah.
Law, sir.
Whatever you believe in, yeah, that's got nothing to do with what we're doing here. I'm a police officer and I'm enforcing the rules.
You're a police officer or a police constable, sir? I am live streaming you. Are you a police constable? Are you under oath? Because if you're under oath, sir, you need to be here under common law.
As we've explained.
I don't break laws, sir. Yeah, but rules and statutes and acts and law of the sea. I am not dead, sir. I'm alive. And if this is the problem, sir, take me to the nearest court or I'll dissolve my trust now. I have lawful excuse. I'm under the Magna Carta, Article 61, because of the treason facts, sir. It's unlawful in this country to pay any kind of tax whatsoever. Do you not know the law, sir?
Oh no, is he just admitting to not paying taxes? In fairness, I don't know how the taxes work in the UK. I know some places just have higher consumption taxes, like when you go to the store. Like, I know Canada, I think, instead of doing what the United States does, where you file federal income taxes every year, I'm pretty sure they just have higher taxes on all goods, and that sort of makes up for it, so you don't have to do that. I don't know how it works in the UK.
Am I detained, sir? Constable, am I detained?
Yes.
Acting outside the Oath's office, mate, yeah? They are here under oath. He has said he's got his warrant card. But they're not showing it. Constable, can I see your warrant card, please? We've got one live. Keep sharing, peeps, keep sharing, because this is ridiculous. You've got to know the law. If these don't know the law, then they're acting outside.
I don't think there's anything that better fits the definition of, like, irony than when these sovereign citizens or freemen of the land say something to the effect of, "You need to know the law." All right, bud. Maybe take your own advice. Glass houses and all.
Side of their office, which is misconduct in a public office. And I will have them done for this. Because I am travelling. I am not driving.
Oh, he did the thing. He said it. He said the thing.
Constable, am I detained? Pardon?
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Marina 3
detained, sir?
says
Am
the
I
UK
detained?
has VAT, but also
Under what
income
law,
tax.
sir?
Vehicle
Don't give me
exercise duty is what you
don't
pay
give me
for your
road traffic
car,
acts, because they're
and it's
the
based
law
on
of the
vehicle
dead, sir.
emissions. Oh, okay.
Your mumbo jumbo
Interesting.
stuff that you're talking
My mumbo jumbo stuff. I'm under common law, sir. You don't know what you don't know what common law is, sir.
about. You're making stuff up. At the end of the day, you're supposed to have tax on your car.
No, you're not. Oh, no, the only people... Whoa. Please listen to me, sir. You're very ignorant, you are. I've been very patient with you so far. Can I have your number, sir, please?
Yeah,
Can you just...
It's 21117.
21117. What's yours, sir? 23841.
Right, so can you give us
Brilliant.
your name and address?
No, mate, I'm not obliged to give you that information, am I?
Traffic Act you are.
No, I'm not, sir. Under the Road Traffic Act, I'm a living, breathing human being. I am not a dead entity.
Reason to request.
Correct. The laws apply to living people. That's how they work. A lot of these people consider, again, I think I've talked about the straw man thing many, many times, but in case you don't know, a lot of these sovereign citizen, freemen of the land types believe that the government, upon the day of your birth, you are born as a flesh and blood living individual. However, on the same day is born a dead straw man version of you, which is like your birth certificate or something like that. They basically think that the government applies laws to this straw man, and you are only the, like, how do I want to put this? The representative of that dead straw man, and that's how the law somehow applies to you. And they try and draw a distinction and say, like, I'm not that, therefore the law doesn't apply to me. Of course, this makes no sense. The government does not need to create some fake version of you for laws to apply to you. The laws apply to you because the laws are literally written for human beings. That's literally what they're for.
Your name and address.
Am I obliged to give you that, sir?
Yes.
Am I really? Under what law, sir?
I'll just explain the Road Traffic Act.
It's an act, sir. It's not the law, is it? It's an act. They are rules enforced
Acts are laws. Acts are laws.
by the power.
The Civil Rights Act, for instance, that was a law that was passed.
Law with consent. Do you not know the law, sir? You're getting act.
Let's look at the literal definition of an act. Act. Legal definition. Something done. Usually something done intentionally or voluntarily with a purpose. When a bill is favorably acted upon in the process of legislation, it becomes an act. So there you go. Here's another one, legal definition. The term encompasses not only physical acts, such as turning on the water or purchasing a gun, but also refers to more intangible acts, such as adopting a decree, edict, law, judgment, award, or determination. An act may be a private act done by an individual managing his or her personal affairs, or it might be made a public act done by an official, a council, or a court. When a bill is favorably acted upon in the process of legislation, it becomes an act. So it is a law.
Your depth here, boys.
Speak to a solicitor about this.
I don't do solicitors, mate, because you all work in the same boat, don't you?
Okay.
Hey, so have I broken any laws, sir?
You have no tax on your vehicle.
I'll ask you once again, sir. Have I broken any laws?
Which you're not giving your details.
Is that an offence, is it?
Instruct us in the execution of
Yes.
I have a right to silence, mate, do I not?
For that, you need to give a...
I don't know what it is in the UK. I do not know specifically how their, right to not incriminate works, but at least in the US, you have the right, and it's said as you have the right to remain silent. But really what that means is you have the right to not incriminate yourself, right? So if through the act of speaking you would self-incriminate, then you have the right to not answer certain questions. You have a right to have, a lawyer present. You have a right to not answer questions without a lawyer present, and to not answer questions that would incriminate you. That does not apply during a traffic stop. If you are being stopped in a traffic stop and they say, hey, could you give me your driver's license, registration, license, and your name? Those are all things you are required to give, at least in the US. And I'd imagine the UK is the same.
What's your name and address anyway?
Do I really?
Don't. It gives us a necessity for your arrest.
For my arrest? Under what law?
Sorry?
Under what law? What laws have I broken?
Koyatry, thank you for continuing your gift sub,
I'm not
by the way.
instructing anything. You've stopped me, officer. Constable. Can I see your warrant cards, please?
I'm more than happy to show it.
Brilliant. Get them out then, mate, because if you... Brilliant. Yeah, mate, it's a bit blurry on me window. Can you just show me that? Can you show me your one again, mate, please? I ain't seen your warrant card yet, sir. Can I see your warrant card, please? I am live streaming. I did tell you. I did tell you. It's on Facebook. I did tell you. Yeah, I want to see your warrant card, mate, please. Move your hand, please, sir. I couldn't see that. Your hand was in the way.
Oh god, Short Fat Otaku is in the chat for surfs. Oh no. Short Fat Otaku, I've covered him before. He's the one, remember when we did the Chud Watch, where it was the guy who was complaining that he got banned from a Discord, and he was like, this is cancel culture. And the reason he was banned is because he was literally just reporting people to ICE on Twitter, and everyone was like, dude, that's really effed up. And he's here in the chat. Oh boy.
So you're here under common law, sir. Let's ascertain some facts here. You're here under common law, am I right?
We've stopped you.
Because of a road traffic
fan-made music video. Does it use music? If so, I can't play it. I don't want to get DMCA'd or have this demonetized when I put it on YouTube. Oh, isn't this guy awful? This guy's super homophobic or something. I remember this. Everyone got really mad at this guy because they liked that music video, but then it turned out he was a huge homophobe. I swear that happened. Let me look, hold on. Pogo. Homophobia. Yeah, the homophobia incident. He said some messed up stuff.
Hey there, folks. I thought I'd jump on really quickly and just answer a question that I get all the time. Why did you call your YouTube channel Faggotron, as in faggot and then tron? Well, I've never actually told anybody this story. I've always tried to avoid telling people the truth and just kind of give them something a bit more PC. But no, I'm going to be totally straight up and down with you guys this time, because, you know, you come on my channel, you deserve my honesty. I came up with Faggotron because I've always had a very thorough dislike of homosexuals. I've never liked a grown man acting like a 12-year-old girl. I've always found that to be quite disgusting.
You get it. You get it. And I don't care if later he came out and he's like, I was just memeing. Like, it's not a meme. It's not a joke. It's not a joke to just say a bunch of homophobic shit and be like, I was kidding. Like, you can't just make, like, a 3-minute video where you're talking about how much you hate, like, a certain race or something and then be like, it was just a joke, guys. Wasn't it funny that I literally just said racist things for 3 minutes? That's not a joke.
Act, which is not law, sir. It's an act. There are rules. There are rules made. No, you don't. I'm not obliged to give you that. I'll ask you once more, sir. Have I broken any laws?
Okay, if you do not give us some details, you are breaking the law.
Oh, what law's that then, sir?
Don't be sorry. I don't expect everyone to know everything. I'm just pointing it out.
No. You gave me road traffic acts. They are not laws. They are rules enforced by law by consent. I don't consent, mate. I don't consent.
You don't need to consent to laws to have them apply to you.
I do not consent with statutory acts. I am under common law. Yes.
Like, literally, if this were the case, if someone murdered someone, like, let's say the Chris Watts murder, or the Casey Anthony murder, wouldn't they just be like, yeah, I murdered my family, but I don't consent to your murder laws, so it's fine. If that's how the law worked, there would be no law.
You have to abide by the law, sir. You have to abide by the law, do you not? Do you not, sir?
Including yourself?
Including myself. I haven't broken any law, sir. I am travelling. I am not driving.
Okay, do you agree that every person on the road should have insurance?
No.
No?
Only the people that drive for the Crown should have insurance, sir, because we travel.
Okay then, so if somebody crashes into you, you don't want someone else's insurance to cover the damage to your car or any injury?
If it's a traveller, sir, then we just get in touch with MIB, Motor Insurance Bureau, because I don't know if you know the law, sir, but 30% of the insurance that people work... Excuse me, sir, don't walk away and be ignorant like that, sir. I'm being very polite with you. I'm being very polite with you. Basically, sir, what you've got to understand is statutes and acts are not laws, and if you don't know that, you're acting outside your office, aren't you? Hey, you're trying to impose statutes and acts on a living man. I am not dead, sir. I'm not dead.
Freaking Out 99 says you don't have to consent to laws. Laws are inherently enforced by force. Yeah, basically. Laws by their very nature are almost threats of force. And I don't mean to say that in a negative way, because of course, that's how society functions in some ways. Like, we say to people, if you murder someone, if you steal from someone, if you commit certain crimes, we are going to take away your freedom for a certain period of time, right? That's how all law works, more or less. It's, you can do an action, even if it's awful, but guess what? There are consequences for that action. That's how all law works. Where do you submit things for Tinfoil Tuesday? My mom has been sending me stuff that's pretty conspiratorial. My Twitter, @HannahReloaded, would be good.
1666.
Or if you don't have a Twitter, I guess, just right here, and I'll just save them, and I'll bookmark them for Tuesday.
I am travelling. I'm not driving. I don't understand, and you'll get no joinder from me today, sir. Do you understand? I'll have you done for misconduct of a public office, sir. You know what that... Do you know what that carries, sir? Life imprisonment. Life imprisonment, sir, that carries.
we can't.
Am I detained, sir?
Yes.
Have I broken any rules or laws? Fuck the rules. Laws. What are they doing now, Corey? Look, they keep walking away, look.
Probably ringing for backup.
Really? How's that then?
The front door.
Well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. That's amazing.
Holy coin! No way.
This is
Constable! I'm going to ask you again, sir. Am I detained?
Yes.
Under what law, sir? Why am I detained? Why am I detained?
Sorry?
Why am I detained?
Okay, I'll tell you now, you're under arrest for obstructing the police. For that, you don't have to say anything. You may harm
Why have I obstructed you, sir? Why have I obstructed you, sir?
If you're arrested to allow a prompt and effective investigation to...
Why have I obstructed you, sir?
Okay?
Why have I... No, I don't understand, mate.
I think you mean to ask how have I obstructed you. If you're asking why have you obstructed him, I mean, that would be an answer only you have. Why are you choosing to do this? Why do you choose all the things you choose to be?
And I don't consent, and you'll get no joinery from me today. Do you understand, sir? No, sir, I can't. You're breaking your own laws. You are breaking your own laws.
Is there anything reasonable that I can say or do that will convince you to get out of the car without us having to forcibly remove you?
Well, if you try to forcibly remove me, sir, I will tell you now, I will use reasonable force to stop you.
Okay.
Because I have broken no laws whatsoever, and you're here trying to enforce statutes and acts on the living person. I have already told you I am under common law.
Arrest this time.
For what, sir? For what, sir? For what, sir? For what, sir?
And it's not appropriate to have...
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this then, sir? I am not obstructing in any way whatsoever. I am in my own private conveyance system, sir. I am not driving. If you know the law, sir, you will know...
By what manner is your personal conveyance getting you from place to place? I'd love to know.
That drivers require a driver's license, MOT, tax and insurance, and those people work for the Crown. Who are the Crown, sir?
Sorry?
Who are the Crown?
Who are the Crown?
Yes.
You're about the Queen?
No, sir. Do you not know the law, sir?
What are you talking about? It's gibberish.
We are it's gibberish, is it? Common law's gibberish to you, is it, sir?
People will be laughing.
Common law's gibberish to you, sir, is it? Common law's gibberish to you, sir. If you touch this vehicle, I'll have you done for everything, mate. Breach at peace, criminal damage. You're going to force the door, and I'll have you done for misconduct to a public office. That carries a life imprisonment for yourself, sir.
Is there a way I convince you to get out of the car now? Or are we going to have to force the door?
There's going to be assault and battery, mate, isn't there? Hey, carry on.
You're under arrest.
I'm not under arrest, sir. No, I'm not, sir. No, I'm not.
Oh boy, you activated his trap card. Oh, you're not under arrest? Sorry. I guess you don't agree with the arrest, so we won't arrest you. Boy, why do we keep trying to arrest people? No one ever consents to it. Seems like we're a big waste of time. Go on your day, sir. Is that how he expects this interaction to go?
I refuse. I don't consent. Yeah, I don't consent to your statutes and acts. If you're arresting me on statutes, and acts, I'll have your badge, mate.
Okay.
And I'll have yours as well.
And you're under arrest. So you need to get out of the vehicle.
No, I don't, mate. Because I have broke no laws, sir. I have broke. Get your chief constable down here, mate.
No, it's not going to happen.
Oh, is it not? Can you get on your phone and ring the police, please?
It's up to yourself.
Call the police! I'm being arrested by the police!
But I would advise to get the children out of the car because it's not something they need to see.
It's not. What are you going to do, sir? You cause any violence to my vehicle, to my motor fucking transport, my private conveyance, yeah?
They hit 25? Heck yeah. The Surfs have hit $25,043 for their charity stream. That's rad. Good for them.
Which you keep calling a vehicle. It's not a vehicle, sir. It's a private conveyance system. No, it's not. Do you know what horsepower is? Do you know what horsepower is? Do you know what horsepower is?
It's a measurement of the power of your engine? What does that have to do with this?
Do you know what cars are measured in? They're measured in horsepower.
Can I say something?
Is he going to try and say that because car power is measured in horsepower, that means that actually his car isn't a car, it's a horse? I'm very afraid that's where this is going.
Have they spoken to Olivia Pinckney?
Have you
Yeah, and they've only been going for 4.5 hours of the 36. That's crazy.
spoken to Olivia Pinckney?
Right. And horsepower isn't even like 1 horsepower, literally. It's something else. I think they've actually calculated, like, how much horsepower does a horse have, and it's not 1-to-1. How much horsepower does a horse have? How much horsepower does 1 horse have? A horse, an average workhorse achieves a maximum of just under 15 horsepower at a sprint. So again, it's like a measurement and it's called horsepower, but it was a marketing term when they came up with horsepower, just to kind of explain to people. And it was like, I'm not going to say it was arbitrary, but like any measurement, they decided like, okay, this much power is 1 horsepower. They didn't literally measure a horse and say, okay, that much power, that's 1 horsepower. Because of course every horse is going to be different. And they're going to have a wide variety of power output at any given time, right? Because, you know, horses aren't machines, they're living beings. And a horse is going to output more power while it's at a sprint or while it's, like, pulling something than if it's just resting. Daddy Sume with 5 bits. Night all. Love you, Hannah. You're all valid and loved. Thanks for coming to the stream, Sume.
She knows our lawful standing. Speak to Olivia Pinckney, mate. Go on, speak to Olivia Pinckney, dude. Because we're in correspondence with her, and this is unacceptable.
It's 2 average horses pulling a cart equals 1 horsepower.
Travelling, trying to say I'm driving. What's up, baby? Trying to say I'm arrested, man. I broke no laws.
Oh, these poor kids. I feel for the kids of these people because it's not these kids' fault that their parents are wackos.
What? They can't smell fuck all anyway, babe.
But apparently it's impossible for them to get any draft if there's no other windows open.
Will you ring the police like I've asked, please, baby?
What do you want me to say to them? They are the police.
No, they're not. They're here enforcing statutes and acts on us.
I like that the wife, or girlfriend, I guess, says, like, what do you want me to say? They are the police. No, they're not. They're trying to enforce traffic statutes. Okay, they're still the police. The police do that. That's like a big part of their job, is catching people speeding or driving without a license or whatever.
I don't know what to say, babe.
Well, they just stood there now, look.
Look.
Constable!
101?
Because, you know, there's got to be an emergency to be blue lighted.
I don't know where they got that idea. That's not the case. If they have their lights on, they're either going to an emergency or they're pulling someone over. And once you're pulled over to the side of the road, they leave the lights on so that you're visible so other cars don't ram into them. Like, that's perfectly fine. Where do you get this idea that they have to be, like, on the way to, like, a gunfight in order to have the lights on?
Babe, I'm going to jail. Well.
Nervous laugh. Gotta talk over the music so I don't get DMCA'd. Even turn your music off, gosh darn it.
Time to think about it.
No, I don't need time. You need time to think about it, Constable.
Removing you from the vehicle. you don't get...
All right, so I can... under arrest for what, sir? What laws have I broken? I haven't obstructed... Can I obstruct you when I'm in my private conveyance system?
Have you rung Olivia Pinckney?
Have you got in touch with Olivia Pinckney?
No, I haven't.
You need to arrest this guy.
Okay.
Can I talk to you, sir, please? Can I talk to you, sir, please?
He's literally just got here. I'm dealing with it.
You're dealing with it.
Stop, please. You are under arrest.
For what, sir? For what? What law have I broken to be arrested?
Why haven't you got in touch with Olivia Pinckney?
Sorry?
Why haven't you got in touch with Olivia Pinckney?
Because
Who is Olivia Pinkley? I have no idea who that is or why she's referencing this person.
Oh, you're not bothered?
if you want to make a complaint, that's not a problem.
No, we're already in contact with them, mate, because I'm travelling. I don't drive here. The only people that need a driver's license, sir, just please listen to me, sir. Yeah, the people that need a driving license are the people that work for the Crown. Yeah. You work for the Crown. Am I right, sir? You work for the Crown. Do you not work for the Crown, sir?
Sorry?
Do you work for the Crown? It's a simple question.
We hold office of transport and we're employed as police.
That's right. So you're under consent. You're run by consent, then, sir. Yes. Statutes and acts are not laws, sir.
Okay,
They're only given the power of the force of the law if it's consented by. I don't consent.
No, I don't know where they get this idea that you need to consent to certain laws for them to apply to you. That's not how any law works. What would be the point of a law if you had to consent to it in order for it to apply to you?
I'm under common law.
This will last for a few. If you get out of the car for me, please.
Well, you're going to cause criminal damage to my car, sir.
Criminal damage, but I will cause damage to your car.
You're going to cause damage to it? I'll have it done for public office, mate, then, won't I?
Oh, he's going to smash a window. He's going to get a little smashy. He's harnessing his inner American cop, and he's going to smash this window.
Why are you doing this, Constable?
Because you're under arrest for obstruct police.
I have not obstructed anybody. You're the ones here in force. Look at you all, right?
Is there anything we can say or reasonably do?
Davidia
yeah, you can
Games,
stand
thanks
by
for
your oath
following.
of office under common law, because that's what you're here for, yeah?
You need all their numbers.
Oh. Are you going to smash my window if I don't?
You don't get the car yet.
Under what law, sir?
I've already told you you're under
It's a statute and act, sir, isn't it? It's the law of the sea.
It's a statute and knights errant, and it's the law of the sea. I know what some of these words mean on their own, but when he puts these together, I have no idea what he's trying to say.
Car, you're going to the police station.
I need your number. Before I get out of this car, I need all your numbers.
You've got our numbers.
I've got your numbers. I want yours, and yours, mate, please.
Okay.
Because they're all going to be held.
You're all going to be held personal liable. You do understand this, right?
Okay, out the car.
Personal liable.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Arenas 3 with 25 bits. Olivia Pinkley is the chief constable of Hampshire Police. This must have happened pretty near me. They literally want them to call the highest ranked person in the area. That is a thing sovereign citizens like to do, is like, I want to talk to your manager. Let me talk to the manager of the police. Listen, bud, I don't know how to tell you this, but they are not going to be favorable to your cause.
I don't want to be a dick, mate.
Ooh, too late.
Excuse me. No. Get that phone, Corey.
Oh, they didn't even smash the car. Good job.
Get the hell off my father!
Oh, that poor kid. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even understand that it's his dad's fault for being a psycho. I do feel for that kid. That sucks.
It's alright. It's alright. What are you doing, man? It's alright.
Ooh, is he... Oh no, is he fighting him? That's a bad call. Always a great idea to have a physical fight with the cops next to an active highway. That's not dangerous at all. I guess it's not a highway, it's just a regular road, but like... Oh, that's so dangerous. America cop time. Yeah, we'll skip ahead. Oof, on to part 2.
Just there.
Alright, so we're on to part 2. That's the end of part 1. This one's considerably shorter, for the record.
Please. Now my mouth's really dry.
If we get out of the car, you're going to take the car
If we
away.
get out of this car, you're going to take it.
It's going to be seized, yes. So
If we don't get out of the car, you're going to break the window to take it.
Yes.
We were having a nice day. Going down to the mainland to see the rest of our family.
And
Yeah, we'll do a cleanse after this. This one's pretty bad.
You showed up. It was
so I don't agree to this, okay? I don't consent.
Oh, come on, lady. Don't make them arrest you, too. Your poor kids. Come on.
And I don't understand. Who to?
If you get in touch with the police, they can go into a professional stand.
But you are the police.
Get in touch with the chief.
You are
Hey, I
the
already
police.
have this one
and
pulled
we're
up.
already in touch with the chief constable. And you aren't getting in touch with the chief constable to find out our standing that she knows about.
If you're in any communication with the chief constable about any other matters, that's nothing to do with this car.
No, that is about this matter. It's
What is happening.
I'm gonna try and skip ahead, because these kids crying is just killing me.
we will.
They go for the card, you know.
Where's the charger?
He's been arrested.
What? Beat the living crap out of the place!
Jesus.
Go send me some details and get it taxed. And then
I think the wife is taking a video now.
obviously show them all the insurance and everything that the person can drive it. But we just need to basically tell them whose car it is.
Oh, is this my charger?
No.
Yeah, this is my charger.
Is it?
Yeah. Is my phone close as well?
Jake, you had your phone.
I got it. He in the bush then!
I just want to point out that these children at least have the peace of mind to say, hey, if we're going to pee somewhere, it should be in the bushes, not just on the ground randomly, like Jeremy. In fairness, he was peeing into a drain on the ground, I think, but nonetheless, I think even these kids would know not to do that.
Where's it going to be held?
Stag Lane Motors.
I should do this.
Stag Lane.
Yeah, that's what it's done. How can we get all... It's taking it.
Ugh.
They'd be dead where they stand.
The only reason I'm letting this car go is because they've threatened to take my kids.
Welcome to the law. Frankly, I think your kids should be taken away anyway. It's very clear you're raising them in a psychotic environment where you think you can teach them that the law is something you need to consent to and doesn't apply to you if you don't want it to. That's not okay. Honestly, I think you should probably be investigated by whatever the UK version of CPS is anyway. Because I doubt the weirdness in this family stops here.
Told me I can pick it up. They even wanted me details for the recovery people. Fucking bastards.
What an awful, awful person.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Looks like a screenshot from
Who do
Into
we
the
have?
Woods.
Oh hi, it's Murky. How are you?
Pretty good.
Am I on the air, sir?
Yeah, you're live.
Oh boy, I'm so excited. This
We're doing a
is the
cleanse,
show for
by
me
the way.
today, just for fun, and I am having fun. We're in the cold open for the Not Even a Show. I got my contract renewed, and I'm here for good.
Oh, that's good.
All right.
Yeah,
So
it was a little bit of a... People thought maybe Stoop was going to take the job, but I really got it done last week, and I got a full-on, I think it's about a 2-year contract, so everyone's ecstatic, and we're actually in the cold open right now.
So explain to everybody what it is. Tell everybody.
I just did.
Well, I mean, because you got all the listeners listening. Tell everybody how to find you and everything you got going on.
They already found me. I'm here, but I just need you to say, let's start the show.
Hey, let's start
That's
a
how I
show.
get
Come
my-
on. Let's do it.
No, you got it. You got to put a little something into it.
You got to put something into it.
Put your ass into it.
Can you guys say it at one? Can you say it in unison? I'll say 1, 2, 3, and then you say, let's start the show.
Okay, you ready? You want me to do it?
All right, here we go.
Hey, you want me
Skip
to
to
do
the
it?
first call where they call right-wing shows. Okay.
$50% off mypillow.com. Call 800-829-8468. 800-829-8468. Promo code GKROA. Let's go to your first call of the day. Claude, I like that, in Alabama, line 3. Welcome, Claude.
Hi, Dr. G. How you doing today?
Very well.
I just want to say, first of all, congratulations, Tommy Tuberville. I saw you when you came down here a few years ago to Montgomery, and we really loved having you. Had a great time that night.
That was fun. That was with Sarah Palin. That was great.
I love that, sir. I just want to go back to what you were saying with Stephen Moore.
Yeah.
Because I am a small businessman myself. I have my own home contracting business. And as you might know, I couldn't agree more with what you were saying about the unemployment benefits and how that sort of disincentivizes people working. I'm lucky in that I only hire hard workers. So.
But can you find them right now, Claude?
Can you find those hard workers?
Well, sir, I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed in that I'm lucky. But my competitors, for instance, and I'm friendly with some of them, they don't have that. And these folks are sitting on their keisters at home. They're not doing nothing about that. And worst of all, now I'm a big guy, right? Now get this. Their workers are coming to them saying, well, you need to give us masks if we're even going to consider coming back. We're talking jobs here. They could come back any time, but they're saying, we want masks. We want masks. It's hard to do contracting work in a mask, by the way, but basically...
I know I've seen and I know they're screwing with this guy. Contractors wear masks for certain tasks all the time because of, like, dust and stuff that gets into the air. I'm not saying that most of them use them all the time, but it's very possible to do these jobs wearing masks.
What I want to ask you is, because I'm a big guy, and I thought you might be able to help. I don't know, what size do you take on your big head on your Nazi helmet? You fucking racist piece of shit.
Yes, indeed. What did I say, Jeff? Did I have a feeling there, Jeff, about that caller? I did, didn't I? Sad how pathetic these little people are. But he's not a contractor. He's not an American. He's not a patriot. Claude.
You're a pathetic, sad little man.
Goodbye.
Good riddance to you. We will win despite you. Because you are the antithesis of everything this nation was founded to represent. But you are amusing. In a pathetic way. Goodbye, Claude. Run home to Mama. Hide in your incel basement. You pathetic, little, scrawny version of a man.
We're going to have fun here. We're going to fight. But fight and win. Goodbye.
JJ. That's funny. Oh, shoot. Didn't mean to do that. Well, I lost one of those, but I have the other one. Oh, did you guys see this new Gotham Knights game? I think this looks fun. It's like a sort of sequel to the last Arkham Knight game. You play as, like, Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Robin. And it's after Batman's dead. Spoilers for Arkham Knight. And they're sort of, like, taking up, you know. And they're, it's a co-op game if you want to. It has, of course, it's like you can play it completely single player, just like the other Arkham games, but if you want, you can play co-op with people. I think it looks fun. And instead of a Batmobile, you have, like, motorcycles for all of them. So hopefully they won't include the, you know, annoying bat tank-like sections from Arkham Knight. Yeah. Looks like a lot of fun. The Batmobile was overpowered. I liked the Batmobile to get from place to place, but the tank mode was very, very stupid. But yeah, I think this game looks fun. I'm sure I'll get it when it comes out on, like, PS5 or whatever. You thought Batman wasn't really dead? It wouldn't surprise me if some point in the game or at the end of the game they find out Bruce isn't actually dead. I don't know. It also appears that the game's going to have something to do with the Court of Owls, which was like a arc that started in the New 52. So. But yeah, I think it looks cool. I'm wondering how they're gonna... I don't know if this takes place in, like, a slightly different universe or what. But, like, yeah, I'll click on Sushi Mounts. Like, I'm pretty sure Barbara was already Oracle by the part that... Make it drop. Oh, no. That's some wet and kush. Oh, God. I can't play the music. I don't want to get DMCA. Oh, God. Oh no! This is horrifying. Why has anyone done this? I just want to die. Yikes. Anyway, I think the Arkham game looks like it'll be fun. There's another arrest.
Do I have the right to do what you're doing?
Pardon?
Do I have the right to do what you're doing?
No.
It would be immoral for me to do what you're doing.
I mean, are you talking about committing a traffic stop? Yes, because you're not a police officer. Only police officers are allowed to pull people over.
No.
So I have the right to do it.
We're given the power to do, aren't we?
So if I did this, would you have me arrested?
If you're a police officer, you could do the same.
Maybe this video is operating under maritime law, because it looks like they're all underwater.
If I was a human being, would I be allowed to do this?
If you're a police officer, yeah.
That's not the question. Would I, if I was a human being?
No, because you're not.
Are you a human being, sir?
A police officer have the powers.
Are you a human being? You don't have the power to harm people and issue commands that other people are morally obliged to follow.
They do, though. I mean, maybe not morally obliged. I guess that would depend upon the order, but you're certainly legally obliged.
That would be slavery.
Following the law is literally slavery. Bold take, Cotton. Let's see how it works out for him.
I'm not your slave.
What are the surfs up to? Oh, it's too blurry. I can't see.
How do you feel that your wages come from the theft of other people?
Oh no, he's a taxationist theft guy too.
How do you feel that your wages come from the theft of other people?
They're at 25,412. Okay.
Do you see that it is theft?
$35,000? Okay, I was gonna say, damn. I was gonna say, did another person donate $10,000?
Yesterday. So what are you going to do with your footage then?
Post it.
Pardon?
Post it.
Post it?
How do you feel being on YouTube?
Who cares?
You don't have to. When your sergeant comes down, he'll tell you don't have to, innit? It's actually...
There's not a choice, are you?
It's actually illegal for you to do that.
Pardon?
It's actually illegal for you to do that.
Right. Comes the van now, Seb. So, it's just like your time is running out now for you to open this door.
Can I please speak? Can I please speak to your sergeant?
The sergeant's there. The sergeant's in the van.
Can I speak to him?
So we're gonna open this.
Can I speak to him, please?
We're gonna have to smash the glass, yeah?
Can I speak to him, please?
The sergeant's not going to tell you any different to what we're going to tell you. That's it, yeah. So when the van comes back and parks behind that car, if you don't open the door, I'm going to smash your window and open the door, and you'll be arrested for obstruction. Okay?
I wouldn't do that if I were you. That's criminal damage.
It's not criminal.
No, it's not. It's not. If the police do it and they're acting appropriately, that is not criminal damage. It's just damage. And they don't have to pay you back for it because it's your fault.
Criminal damage, because I'm going to be arresting you, and I've got the power to do that.
I'm actually very curious to see this UK window smash. I want to see if their technique's any different.
Right, Seb, time's up.
Can I please speak to your sergeant?
If the sergeant wants, if you can speak to the sergeant, mate, but it's not going to make any.
Hello, mate. You right?
Forever. I'm not the sergeant. Do you want the sergeant?
Yeah, please, if that's all right.
Okay, mate. I believe you've been given ample opportunity.
I'm not doing anything wrong, sir.
Okay. Well, we believe you're committing offences and driving offences, mate. So we need to talk to you.
Well, I've deregistered my vehicle.
The sergeant's not going to tell you any different.
I've
The sergeant's here, mate, but he's not going to tell you any different. This is the sergeant, but you still need to open the door, mate. Else we're going to have to smash the window and open it and arrest you for obstruction or something like this, right?
Can you find a stop?
That was right, not for long, did he? No insurance, no MOT.
What's in it? Okay.
So, I've deregistered my vehicle, sir.
Okay, sir. Do you want it or do you want me to do it?
Have you got these? Yeah, you got it then.
Okay, Seb, so I'm arresting you for driving a motor vehicle on the road with no insurance and no MOT. You don't have to say anything when it bound you to do not mention one question, something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Your arrest is necessary to allow prompt and effective investigation of the offence. Okay, are you going to open the door one last time?
I'll come with you, innit?
You'll come with us, we'll open the door now, else I'm going to smash your door. You're under arrest now, so I'm going to smash this window.
Alright then.
Open the door. Are you going to open it or not?
I can't do what you say.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Okay.
Alright.
Less of a swing than I've seen a lot of the American cops do. Maybe they have a better device for this.
I'll come out.
See, and here's the thing. Right after he smashed it, he's like, okay, I'll come out. All you would have had to do was do that 10 seconds earlier, and you wouldn't have to pay for a window. Now you gotta pay to get your car cleaned of all the glass, or do it yourself, and probably cut your hands up, or risk leaving some and getting cut later. And now you gotta pay for a window, and you could have just gotten out of the car 10 seconds earlier, and it would have saved you so much time and money.
Come on.
Car windows have tempered glass, which is designed not to be too sharp. You can still cut yourself, though. One time I got in a car accident, and the car flipped over. I wasn't driving, for the record. I was a passenger, and the driver was an idiot, and this was completely his fault. Literally, we were on the highway doing like 70, 80 miles per hour, and we were both in high school, but he was old enough to know not to be this stupid. And there was no one around us in traffic, and he literally went, "Hey guys, look!" And he just started doing this with the wheel, and gee, what do you know? He got out of control, and the car skidded to its side and then flipped over into the median, flipped 3 times, landed upside down, so I'm hanging upside down, you know, in this car, because I have a seatbelt on. I'm in the back seat. He only put a seatbelt in the back seat of his car where I was sitting like a week earlier, too, because when he bought it, it didn't have one. So, you know, I don't know where we are on the highway. I'm just operating on, you know, adrenaline and, like, instinct. So I'm, like, hanging upside down in this car, and I find the seatbelt thing, and I hit the eject seatbelt button, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't want to be sitting in this car. I don't know what's going to happen. Which might not even have been the smart thing to do. I don't know what you're supposed to do if you flip a car. I fall, you know, I tried to get my head from, you know, hitting anything, but I landed on glass, and I had to get staples in my head because I cut up the back of my head from the glass from the window. So, well, yeah, it's probably more difficult to cut yourself on that kind of glass. You absolutely can do it. So I guess that's that video. What an idiot. What else do we have? Versus bailiffs. Is this in court?
Hello, who are you?
Trying to take her car, it looked like. I can't. Let me look for a different one. I kind of want to find one that's in a court. Sovereign citizen altar wine thief? What?
Call details.
The melody who stole wine at 1500
Oh god. So someone went into a church, I'm guessing this person's an alcoholic, and stole the altar wine. Which you use for, like, sacraments and stuff. That's honestly really sad. If you're that bad of an alcoholic where you're broke and you're going into a church to steal their disgusting altar wine, which isn't good, by the way, that's a yikes. That's a shame.
Come back now. There's still one from inside the church, and none of you still got it.
Copy 10-2 from Cairo.
As Auckland constables Abdin Karimi and Kelsey Morgan make their way to St Matthews in the city, street cameras are keeping an eye on the alleged thief.
Right, 2-4 comes update.
Go ahead.
The male in question has walked away from the Bell Tower. He's walking on foot towards Holson Street.
That must be him there.
Yeah. Comms, Grafton. We are nearly 10-7. I think I saw the mail. I'm going to talk to him shortly.
Right.
Tell me what exactly happened.
Well, he stole our wine from the cabinet and he was trying to steal the cross.
And is the camera inside or is it recorded on CCTV?
Yeah. We'll go and have it.
Is it prisoner 24601? He's got a rap sheet a mile long.
Chat to him and see what's happened.
It's a stupid joke.
Do you want to go that way?
Yeah.
Once inside the church, it doesn't take long to find George.
What's it about?
Just go outside.
Yeah, what's happened?
So we had a complaint about you stealing some wine from here today.
Okay,
is that correct?
What time is this?
Well, sometime today. But is that correct?
No.
All right. What I do, I just need to grab your details at this stage, okay?
Yeah,
sure. Then we go from there, okay? Do you have any ID on you today?
Yeah, sure.
So you haven't taken any wine from here today?
No, not today, no.
Nothing.
But George's denials aren't going to make any difference. The church's security cameras have captured everything.
All right, so at this stage you're under arrest for theft. So I want you to turn around and put your hand around your back. And put the handcuff on you, okay?
Under the Magna Carta, Article 61, 1215, under lawful rebellion.
It's all right. We can talk about it later.
I don't know if anyone in the chat's here from UK, but if so, please let me know. Does the Magna Carta in what it outlines for the law, is that still applicable to modern, like, UK law? Is that still a foundational document that is referenced in court cases, or is that just like a, you know, it was a foundation of a lot of the law that we have now, but it's a previous document that doesn't really apply? I'm just curious, because in the UK, I don't know if it makes sense for him to try and quote the Magna Carta. I assume not in this context because he's a sovereign citizen and they rarely make sense. But I've heard even United States sovereign citizens try and quote the Magna Carta, which of course doesn't make any sense. Christian American with 100 bits for the Jean Valjean reference.
And I am free to go.
We can talk about it later. Okay, just turn
Under
around for me,
religious
please.
rights, you are breaking the law.
Come on,
You
man.
cannot
Don't wanna
arrest
use
someone
force,
in a
okay?
religious.
Turn around.
You are breaking the law, sir.
Okay.
You will see a judge.
All right.
Mark my words. And you think you're going to keep that badge and your employment? Mark my words. You're going to lose your job. What do you know about high court judges? You're bro. You're
It's
you
all
know how
right.
many laws you're breaking right
All
now?
right. I need to give you a search, okay?
New Zealand Parliament is illegitimate, and I question their authority.
Oh, he's even in New Zealand. He's not even in the UK. He just said New Zealand's Parliament, so the Magna Carta would not apply. Arenas 3 with 10 bits. I don't know, kind of. Magna Carta is the only real constitutional document we have. It's only really to do with powers of the monarchy now, I expect. Sure, that would make sense. Okay.
And if you read my rights, no, I do not understand. Because I am the authority. I am the authority, sir. Hope you like high court judges and the unemployment line.
George apparently has a very unusual view of the law, and it extends well beyond threats of unemployment.
I need your full name.
You can
I need both of your full name, date of birth, and badge number. That is law.
Date of birth?
Yes, date of birth, badge number, and the station you work for. That is law.
All right.
You must follow the law. It is your job to follow the law. Is that correct?
At this stage, you're under arrest for theft, and you have some rights. I'm going to read your rights, okay?
I do not understand.
What you don't understand?
Full stop.
Okay.
That is law.
So you have the right to remain
I don't
silent.
answer questions.
You do not have to make any
I do
statements.
not answer questions.
Anything you say will
I
be
don't
recorded
answer
and may be given in
questions.
evidence in court. You have the right to speak with a lawyer without delay and in private before deciding whether to answer any question.
do not
police have a list of
understand.
lawyers you may speak to for free.
I do not understand.
What part of it you do not understand?
I have a right to a jury of my peers.
Nobody's sure why George wants a jury of his peers, given there's every chance the church will be happy for police to give him a warning.
So where is the wine that you have taken today from the church?
I have not.
What's with sovereign citizens getting the police's birth date? I have no idea. I honestly don't know.
Unlawfully without consent, and I want to speak to
Jugo Muerto, thank you for following.
Sergeant, immediately. Immediately. Chief Inspector Senior Sergeant, immediately.
Unfortunately for George, there's no such thing as a Chief Inspector Senior Sergeant, but he isn't going to listen to reason.
Your costume doesn't give you any more rights than I have. You do.
They think understand means I agree to the law. Yeah, we'll watch this other one after this one. But some of them literally say, oh, when they ask you if you understand, what they really are asking you is if you stand under. And by stand under, they mean, do you prostrate yourself to their authority? Like, the stretches. It's just insanity.
Hold me, sir. I have no threat to you. Trust me.
Just walk into that room, please.
A few minutes alone in an interview room seems to calm George down, but that doesn't last long.
Okay, I didn't take any wine.
All right.
Now let me ask you this.
Just have a seat and
If you
talk
went
to
to
me.
a communal bathroom and used communal soap, could you be charged with theft?
All right.
Interesting defense. First of all, I didn't steal it. And second of all, even if I did, it's not stealing. Yeah, that's usually how innocent people talk.
Just have a seat now.
Okay, so if you go to a communal church and there's communal wine,
Okay.
can you be charged with
You
theft?
can argue
no,
that I
you
can't,
can't.
okay?
Say you went into a
I
place,
told
went to
you.
the toilet, came out, got arrested,
Alright,
and
just
you
have
had
a
done
seat,
nothing.
okay?
How would you feel?
You can argue what you want, but at this stage you're under arrest.
If I'm
and
under
you
arrest,
just-
do the paperwork.
Alright. You didn't need to be disrespectful, okay?
Get the out of here.
Okay.
And for Kelsey and Ebton, their ordeal with George isn't quite over. He will have to be processed at the Auckland Custody Centre in Mount Eden, and that means another car ride.
You go this way. Are you gonna behave or you need to be handcuffed? Just have a seat.
AO4.
Hey, if you want to
I'm
do
allowed
this,
to read
okay?
your unit, man.
I'm gonna put handcuff on you, okay? Because you are not.
AO4 unit. I'm allowed to read AO4. You think I don't know my shit?
Just have a seat. All right.
This guy's trash.
You treat me like a fellow officer.
Just lean back.
Weirdly, and again, I don't mean to bang this drum all day and night, but like, weirdly, he seems less drunk than Jeremy was on his stream the other day. This guy seems more together and with it than Jeremy was.
Right, lean
You
back.
treat me like a fellow officer, sir.
Hey, we'll treat you how you treat us, so treat us nicely and we'll treat you nicely.
I am not a criminal.
Okay.
You're treating me like a criminal.
Maybe you should
I
have
am not a criminal.
Communal does not equal communal. Yeah.
You need to show us some respect, okay?
Show me some respect.
That's what I'm doing. I didn't raise my voice. All right?
Have I committed an offense?
We talked about it so many times, okay?
We're all human beings. No one has more authority over another human being than anyone else.
By the time they reach the custody unit, George is much more subdued, and it's been decided that he'll be released with a warning.
I'm sorry for any harm.
Just don't stand on that red strap.
It's hard for me.
It's all right.
It's not like an actual conviction, it's just a warning.
It's going to be only on the police record, okay?
George was also trespassed from the church for 2 years and given a formal caution for stealing the wine. And after spending a short time in the cells, he was released.
Okay, here's someone talking about the whole I don't stand under thing.
Mark.
Mark what?
Richie.
Richie, is it your vehicle, sir?
Yep.
Okay. Have you got your driving licence with you and proof of insurance?
No.
Please? Okay. Reason I'm stopping you is because the vehicle's coming up having no insurance. I've been stopped by the Hollybush pub as you went past, down in Lancaster, Tonteg. And as you've gone past, you accelerated quite heavily on the straight just by...
Arenas 3 says, more Magna Carta, there are still 3 clauses that are part of English law. Only 3 clauses of the Magna Carta still remain on statute in England and Wales. These clauses concern 1, freedom of the English church, 2, ancient libraries of the City of London, Clause 13 in the 1215 chapter, Clause 9 in the 1297 statute, and 3, a right to due legal process, Clauses 39 and 40 in the 1215 chapter, Clause 29 in the 1297 statute. In detail, these clauses using the numbering system from the 1297 statute state that 1. First, we have granted to God, and by this our present charter have confirmed for us and our heirs forever that the Church of England shall be free and shall have all her own rights and liberties inviolable. That's not a word I know. Let's learn a new word today. Oh, inviolable. Like you can't violate it, right? Inviolable? I haven't heard that word before. Never broken. Yeah. Inviolable. Inviolable. Learned a new word today. We have granted also and given to all the freemen of our realm for us and our heirs forever these liberties underwritten to have and to hold them and their heirs of us and our heirs forever. The City of London shall have all the old libraries and customs which it hath been used to have. Moreover, we will grant that all other cities, boroughs, towns, and barons of the 5 ports, as with all other ports, shall have all their liberties and free customs. No freeman shall have taken or imprisoned or disseized. Another word I gotta look up. God damn, my verbiage is not great today. Disseise. To deprive especially wrongful of seisin, dispossess, disseise. Okay. Of the freehold, of liberties or free customs, or to be outlawed or exiled or any otherwise destroyed. Nor will we not pass upon him nor condemn him, but by lawful judgment of his peers or by the law of the land. We will sell to no man, we will not deny or defer to any man either justice or right. So those are the things that still apply under the Magna Carta.
By the car garage and brake just before the corner.
Jade Skywalker, way to go, Hannah. Thanks.
No.
No? Okay.
Wait, what?
No, we know you said that.
Yeah.
Oh, because of what
I'm
Baja
obviously
Blast
filming
said.
this for
Gotcha.
my protection. When you said I sped up,
yes.
Have you got any proof of that?
No, I'm just informing you the reason why.
Oh, no, it's not. But there's no video evidence. No video evidence?
No, it's what I've observed, and that's the reason why I've obviously followed you and then done a check on the vehicle.
Okay.
And it's coming back as having no insurance.
Well, it is insured.
Okay. Would you mind joining me in my van so I can we can contact the Motor Insurance Bureau and bottom out your insurance?
Oh, I don't need to get out.
Okay, no problem.
You know that, don't you? I don't need to get out.
I don't need to, no. I'm just asking you. It's a bit easier where we're not
Did I
in the rain.
read about Tennessee revoking voting rights for protesters? The titling of some of those articles is a bit misleading. Basically, it's not a law that just says something to the effect of, if you're protesting, your voting rights are taken away. It's just that they made protesting on certain properties under certain circumstances a felony. Right? And if you're a felon, you can't vote. Which I also disagree with, but, like, the wording of that article title was misleading. It made it sound like the law was like, if you're protesting this thing and we disagree, you're no longer allowed to vote. It's not. It's just that, like, I think part of it was, like, blocking freeways, disallowing emergency vehicles to come through, protesting on certain properties during certain times. I don't remember if it was specific government properties or what, but it just turned those things into felonies.
I can pull over somewhere, off the road.
No, it's alright. The van's behind me anyway. That's fine.
Right on.
Have you got any proof of ID with you at all?
No.
You got your wallet at all with you? Okay.
I don't need to give out any
It's
ID.
an offence not to produce driving licence or a valid insurance certificate.
Well,
requested to do so.
No, I got 7 days of a night to produce.
No, you're required to at the roadside.
No, I got to produce. You can give me a producer.
I can do it at my discretion, but you should produce them at the roadside.
You're not obliged to carry any documentation with you in the car.
Proof of insurance.
No, not at all. That's not correct.
Okay, no problem.
You know that's not correct, don't you?
No, I'm telling you it is.
What?
I like how blasé this copy is. Like, no, it's true.
I got to carry my documents in the car.
You got to have them with you, yeah.
No, it's not correct at all.
Okay, no problem. What is
you know that's wrong. You know that's wrong.
I'm not going to agree with you. We'll agree to disagree on that.
Okay.
What was your surname, please, sir?
Richie.
Richie. How are you spelling that?
Ritchie.
And your first name?
Mark, I said.
And your date of birth, please.
No, you say my date of birth.
Yes, the day you were born.
That's the birth certificate, yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah.
The one that's
it
on
says on the birth certificate.
Well, if I can interrupt you, the one that's on your driver license. So I need to check your driver
but
license.
it says on the birth certificate not to be used for identification purposes.
Okay. When you apply.
Okay, but he's not asking you for your birth certificate. He's asking you for your birth date, which, while it is on your birth certificate, when they ask for the date of your birth, does not mean that they are asking for your birth certificate. Your date of birth is something that exists independently of your birth certificate. That's an official record of it, but presumably you also just know what your birthday is, right? Whether or not you have a birth certificate, you still have a birthday.
Applied for your driving license, you would have to put your date of birth on the application.
Yeah, but it's not to be used for identification. You're trying to identify me now, aren't you?
I'm trying to check your driving license is valid.
Well, you got my name, haven't you?
Yeah, I can't do it without a date of birth. Because I'm sure you can appreciate there may be multiple people with your name in the country, and I can't narrow it down.
Right, okay. Well, on the date of birth certificate, which is Crown copyright, that's not owned by me, that's owned by the state.
Yeah.
It says on there 15th of the 4th, 75.
Thank you.
Can I just put this up a little bit, because my car's getting...
if you didn't, if that's okay.
It's getting a bit wet, that's all.
No, you can, like I said, you can join me in the side of the van
no,
if you
no.
like. Right, have you got any middle names on your driving licence at all, Mark?
Ian.
Ian.
Yeah.
Fantastic, thank you.
I know when you said about insurance, that is not true at all. You've told me something which is completely untrue.
Okay, that's what, when I've done a check on your vehicle, that's what's coming
No, you stopped me because you were saying I sped up or something like that. It's nothing to do with insurance.
Okay.
I know that much.
When I've pulled up behind you, my
right. So no when it comes back, I've got insurance. No when it comes back, and it will come back.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Because do you think I drive a car like this without insurance?
Well, that's what I was quite surprised about, if I'm honest.
Well, I guarantee you that'll come back with insurance.
Yeah.
So, what would you do, what would you say then with regard to the checks you've done, in relation to my insurance?
What do you mean? What would I say in relation to those checks?
Because you said your checks has come back that I have not got insurance.
Yeah.
So what would you say then when it'll come back that I have got insurance?
Yeah.
What would your checks prove then?
That's not a question that I can answer.
Well, so it shows your checks then
on the police national computer.
Yeah. PNC.
Insurance not held.
Yeah. So the PNC.
Yeah.
Right. That would be completely untrue and incorrect.
Okay. Well, that's the information I got available to me at the moment.
Because I don't work for free, see? So this is going to obviously cost you money.
Cost me money?
Yeah. Well, you've stopped me, haven't you?
Okay, no problem.
And you've...
Pension's got a power to stop anyone driving a motor vehicle on the highway.
Right.
I'm requesting to provide details of their driving license.
But then if you stop me without justifiable cause,
I've explained to you, Mark.
Yeah, but then I know that's going to come back as completely fabricated and untrue.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So when it does come back as untrue, what are you going to do about it?
You're free to continue on your way.
But you've caused damage to my car now.
I haven't damaged your car, sir.
Well, look at that.
I haven't touched your vehicle.
Look at that. That's going to damage the electrics.
I assume he's saying because he opened the window and it's like drizzling barely and there's a little bit of water on it. That'll damage the electric systems. No, it won't. You're fine.
Join me in the van.
No, I said no. I don't need to.
I've had a decent amount of... Like, I live in Michigan, so it snows quite heavily. So my car has, all electric windows and seat movie things and everything. So, like, during the winter, if I open my window and there's snow on it, a bunch of snow will get in. Or even when I don't. Like, when I open my door initially, snow will fall off the top of my car into it, onto the electronic parts. And, of course, the snow will melt once I turn my heater on. The electric systems are fine. They can take a little bit of water. It's not going to short them out.
You get out of my car.
Well, then that's your decision.
I don't need to get out of my car.
No,
my car is going to be damaged now because it's raining.
Yeah. All right, mate. Cheers.
Right? It's raining. Right?
My colleague's just calling the Motor Insurance Bureau now.
This is not cheap.
I know it's not,
This is not cheap.
I appreciate and understand that. It's an expensive car.
And yet you won't even let me put it up a little bit.
I won't, sir, no. Who's your insurance with, sir?
Well, your checks. Do your checks.
Sushi
Yeah,
Bomb,
I mean,
thanks for continuing your subscription. 4-month streak. Twitch thinks I need to share this. Oh, and Big Titty Meg, thank you for subscribing. Tier 1, 4-month streak, and Bumble Homestead. Thanks for continuing your subscription. They must a bunch must have come due today.
Grove and Dean.
Grove and Dean.
And
is that the broker?
No, Grove and Dean. Grove and Dean, the broker.
Grove and Dean.
Premium
broker.
Direct.
Grove and Dean, broker. Grove and Dean, broker. Premium.
Jade
Direct.
Skywalker.
Or Premium
no,
Credit.
That's not one.
Or Premium
Bellstar,
Credit.
thank you for your subscription. Blasting that
anything you can get on your
August
phone,
sub
no
goal.
email?
No.
You haven't got any emails from the
Oh, we're
company
on a
you've got
hype
a single
train.
one?
Dang.
Okay.
And I'm filming, so it's difficult
I know.
for me to do.
I'm not sure if you can multitask with them and look
No.
while you're recording. No.
No.
Okay. What would be?
I've been in situations like this before, see.
Okay. So
What
not
a
in the
shock.
car,
Yeah.
But where officers have assaulted me. They've done
No, I've asked
various
you can't
things.
anything via email.
Thanks for the 100
various
bits,
things to
Sushi
me.
Bomb.
Yeah.
And I don't trust any police.
Okay, no problem. What is your current?
That's not a slight on you.
That's okay. I'm not going to take it personally.
Oh, we already
Mark.
completed level
What
1.
is your
so-
current home address, please?
85 Mary Street.
Thank you. Just how long have you had the policy for, Mark?
MST3K
Doesn't
fan
know.
77. Thanks for continuing your sub. Love your
And I've had the
content,
policy.
Hannah. Well, thank you.
October, November, maybe.
What? The year just gone, 2017.
Mm-hmm.
About October, November, 2017.
My car is getting ruined.
I know, sir. Oh, wow. It's a bit of rain, sir.
Yeah, and it's electrics. These electrics, right, are going to cost a hell of a lot of money.
Okay. Like I've said, the alternative, you can step in the side of the van.
I don't
I'll
need
leave
to,
the
do
door
I?
open
I've
if you want
just
for the
said,
van.
can I put my window up a little bit?
You have, yeah, and I've asked you not to.
Bumble Homestead, thanks for gifting a sub.
Okay.
Cotton Candy 903 with 10 bits. Hype train. Thank you.
You just, Can I come back to you, mate? Can you shout out the VRM for me again?
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Dr. Gamble with 200 bits. Thank you.
The spacing on your number plate, sir, is also incorrect with the road traffic regulations.
Stone
Act as
Corbell
well.
with 50
that's an act,
bits.
so
Hype,
isn't it?
hype, hype,
It
hype.
is not,
Also, a
sir.
little
It's,
bit of rain
it's
is
not-
not
it's-
going to hurt
it's not,
electronics
it's
in
not
your
against the
car.
law, is
It is against
Yeah.
the law, sir.
He's
What law
making
is that?
weird excuses.
Road Traffic Regulations Act.
That's an act of law.
Yeah,
It's not law,
same
though.
as the Road Traffic
No,
Act.
it's not. That's legislation of government. That's
Yeah.
not law.
It is.
What do you think legislation is, you idiot? That's just legislation of government. That's not law. Okay, define legislation for me, friendo. You want to tell me what legislation is? It's law.
No, law of the land is completely different to legislation.
Okay.
Legislation is rule of government.
Okay.
And I don't stand under any government rule.
Okay.
So
You live in this
Jacob
country. the laws
Faces,
of the
thanks for the
land.
100
it's not,
bits.
law of the land's different.
Legislation applies to yourself, sir.
Yeah, but I don't need to comply with it.
Arenas 3 with 100 bits.
I've taken
Thank
this
you
up
for
with the
everything
DVLA.
you
and
do.
it's just-
Your
that's a civil
transition has
matter
led
anyway.
to more
I've taken this up with the
me questioning
DVLA.
my own
It's not a
identity.
civil matter,
Well,
It is a civil
I'm glad
matter.
me coming out has been able
Well,
to get
what
you
criminal
to
offence have I committed then by spacing my numbers
self-introspect.
the way I
That's
spaced
redundant.
them?
Introspect.
Because it's an offence under the road.
Like,
Does
what
does
criminal
subscribing
offence have I
seem
committed?
pointless for emotes? No one's gonna make you subscribe. If you don't want them, then don't subscribe. I don't care. I mean, I do care. I like when people subscribe, but obviously, but like, if you don't think it's worth it, don't do it.
It started in this movement I put up a video about Freeman on the land, and
are you gonna just keep spamming the same message? Seriously?
Spewing out loads of crap.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
You know, you fell off the ship. And
this is a former sovereign citizen Freeman of the land talking about how they got into it.
When I first started in this movement, I put up a video about Freeman on the land. And one of the last lines that I came out with after spewing out loads of crap about, you know, you fell off the ship and, you know, you're lost at sea, and this hilarious kind of Monty Python-esque banter that seems to be the rhetoric behind Freeman on the land. I said, it's not that it doesn't work, it's that we're not doing it right. Now this was when I was incredibly naive. You know, I'd only been looking into this stuff for like 4 months. And I loved all the wordplay stuff, you know, citizenship, you know, so it's all about being on the water and all that crap. But Luke, would you trust me to help you out with like legal advice where your home is at stake, where your car might be at stake, where your liberty might be at stake? Okay. And another disclosure that I've got is that I previously got a criminal record. This was something I disclosed straight away on my channel, where I'd come from, why I'd got into this spiritual stuff that I was looking to. At the time, I saw it as a quest for redemption, to improve and better myself, etc. You know, which is what we get into faith for and look beyond into philosophy. We want a better understanding of ourselves and of the world. And somewhere in that, I got caught up in the conspiracy stuff because I felt like I was a victim of the law, because I'd gone out and burgled some houses and stolen some copper pipes, and when the cops came I tried to say that I was trying to turn lead into gold and they didn't believe me, so I'm just joking, but, you know. And from that, and previously being bankrupt, I then started to redeem myself after being on probation. Now this makes me no different from the likes of Mark Salem, from the likes of any of these guys like Dean Clifford and Michael Bernasir, who's lost loads of houses, all these names in the Freeman movement who are taking advantage of people in desperate situations. I'm in the same boat as them, and I could just go on YouTube and start preaching the rhetoric and get people on my side, because when I said at the end of that video that it's not that it doesn't work, it's that we're not doing it right, people just, you know, they're saying well said, well done and all that, you know. But as soon as you say, oh, it doesn't work because everyone's going to jail and losing houses, that's outrageous. Yet this gambling through, you know, lack of certainty from these people who have got criminal records and who've got proven track record for conning people, still believed. I didn't believe myself, I didn't trust myself, so how the hell can I expect anybody to trust me? And one of the main reasons why I wanted to start going onto YouTube was to start talking about this conspiracy stuff. I watched a few Santos Bonacci videos.
He's a former sovereign citizen, and he's talking about how he got sucked into it.
A few Jordan Maxwell videos, and David Icke, of course.
If you can't hear him, I'll find something else. Let me see if there's a different one. Former... Ex-sovereign citizen insider reveals what's behind closed doors.
I was a member of these, what people refer to as the sovereign movement people, and I wanted to shed a little bit of light onto what this is. I've seen some videos online that are mocking these people, and I always, of course, see the arguments that develop between both these sovereign, quote, type of people. I really dislike that word, but I'm using it as a reference so that everyone will know what I'm talking about. These people who are seeking freedom, that sort of thing, often defying authority, defying government. There's a lot of misunderstanding about who these types of people are. They're really just most of them, not all of them, but many of them are just your everyday folks, your neighbor, who have been at some point harassed by some part of the government, be it a traffic ticket, be it the IRS or state tax issue, or
getting a traffic ticket is not, even though this person's not a sovereign citizen anymore, calling getting a traffic ticket being harassed by the police is ridiculous. There are people who really get harassed by the police often because of, like, the color of their skin relatively often. You getting mad because you fucked up and got a traffic ticket and then claiming that you're being harassed by the law is so ridiculous. You're not being harassed. You broke the law.
It might be the local code authorities. That's a big one too. And the point that I want to get across that is so often misunderstood, one of the first points I want to make is why there's a lot of anger and fighting is that the people
you don't have to keep apologizing, it's fine,
who fight this often go on the assumption that the government employees, be it a cop, a judge, or prosecutor, if they would ever comment on any of these topics or videos, which they never ever do. If they do, it's extremely rare, and that you got to question in and of itself. Now, of course, the government officials and employees that are fighting against these sorts of people online, of course, hold these jobs, so they're of course going to defend them, but they very often don't put enough thought into what it is they're fighting about and why. Meaning, for example, if they do work for the government, do they or don't they support an America that's based on freedom? Do they think that freedom already exists? And can they back it up? And very often they can't, and the people that fight them will either assume that they already know these things and that these people are just plain fascist types who support an America that is not free, or there's just this level of frustration whereby these arguments happen where neither party on either side is really on the same page and understanding each other. For example, the main point I want to drive home is, do these government employees really understand the law or don't they? Now, these sovereign movement people, they go to these groups where they study the law. They study the law really intensely.
Study the law. Looking at law books and misunderstanding what you're reading isn't studying. In order to study the law, you know what you have to do? You need to go to law school. Even though this person's an ex-sovereign citizen, this person is giving way too much credit to sovereign citizens. They are not studying the law. Studying the law requires guidance from someone who already understands it to make sure that you're not misunderstanding, because the law is complicated and uses a lot of language that isn't common, right? There are words that mean particular things in the law that don't necessarily have the same meaning colloquially. So you can't just open a law book and expect to understand what a statute is, right? Even if you read it and you can gain a general understanding, you might misinterpret because you don't understand what it's trying to say.
And then when they go into court, they find that the judge and the prosecutor or the code enforcers, traffic, whoever, are not following the procedures, and they wonder why. And as soon as they begin to wonder why, of course the answers never come. Even if the person is represented by an attorney or a public defender, even they often won't provide the answers. And this is why so much crap ensues. And what I wanted to impress is that the vast majority of these folks are just normal, everyday folks who are wondering, why don't the police or why don't the judges follow their own laws?
First of all, judges typically do. We can talk all day about, like, the cops and their misconduct, but most of the time, the cops are following the law. That's why we say that there are, like, systematic issues or systemic issues with the police, because a lot of the things the police do are legal, but there's a difference between legal and moral. Again, you're still painting this from a very sovereign citizen point of view, even though you're claiming you're an ex-sovereign citizen.
And do these people or don't they support a free America? And therefore wonder, are these people just completely out of control? And do these public officials care about the course of America or don't they? And that's where they're at. Now the glitch that comes in is I was a part of these groups for a very long time, probably over a decade, and I associated with many different groups over the course of that time across America, and encountered some extremely bright people, and I latched on to these people who I felt had the most to offer because they were the most bright. But the glitch is there are a certain percentage of people in these groups and within this quote sovereign movement that unfortunately just give it a really bad name. I can remember being at one of these groups once.
Oh my god.
And just,
of course they have a bad name. It's all bullshit. This guy's giving way too much, like, apologia. It says ex-sovereign citizen, but it really sounds like he's just a current sovereign citizen. Very stupid. Very, very stupid. So we'll just read this article real quick, and then we'll raid the Surf's charity stream. NASA. Asteroid headed toward Earth before November election. Oh, goody. NASA reported Saturday that an asteroid is headed towards the Earth one day before the U.S. election day this year. Though the chances of impact are less than 1%. Okay. So not gonna happen. Although it is 2020, so, you know. Maybe the apocalypse will happen before that. Scientists labeled the asteroid 2018 VP1, and data revealed it is 0.002 kilometers, or about 6.5 feet. Oh, even if it did hit the Earth, it's only 6.5 feet. I'm not saying it wouldn't hurt whichever place it hit, but, you know. Stupid. NASA data revealed that there are 3 potential impacts, though based on 21 observations over the course of 12.968 days, determined the chance of impact is 0.41%. The space rock will pass Earth on November 2nd, on the eve of Election Day in the United States. The Hill reached out to NASA for more information regarding the asteroid, but did not immediately hear back. Barkety, thank you for following. How am I doing today? Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, that's a clickbait article. We get, you know, asteroids, whatever you call them. I forget. I know there's a different name for, like, when they're in space, when they're, like, going through the atmosphere, and when they hit the ground. I don't know the difference. I don't particularly care for context in this, like, thing. Saying that, like, asteroid headed towards Earth before November election. Okay, but, like, there's asteroids headed toward Earth relatively often. They're just small, right? Things go through the Earth's atmosphere relatively often. They're called shooting stars, but really they're like chunks of rock from space or whatever. Just seems silly. I don't know. Do not know. Fun clickbait? I guess, if the apocalypse is clickbait. Anyway. Thanks, everyone. We're going to raid the Surfs, but first, if you haven't, here, check out my YouTube channel. Oh, let me spell this correctly. YouTube. Link is in the chat. It's where I post all my full streams and where I post all my stream highlights. So definitely go ahead and check that out. This is like really low quality stream right now, so I can't tell you what they're on in terms of dollar amounts, but hopefully pretty good. So let me just raid the Surfs TV. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy the charity stream. Throw a couple bucks their way because it's a good cause. They're basically raising money for a place for homeless trans people to go because, of course, something like a third of trans people are homeless or something like that. It's a really high percentage. It's like a huge issue. So go enjoy the stream. Maybe throw them a couple bucks. Have a good night, everyone. Chat is valid. Night.